pound 250, say Clay and Buck, for your free Samsung Galaxy with qualifying plan from Pure Talk Wireless by Americans for Americans.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. The 3 p.m. hour is presented by First Liberty Building and Loan. Monday through Saturday, we're right. But on Sunday, we turn left.
Daytona International Speedway, we love our country, and it's truly an honor to be with all of you at the great American race. Gentlemen, start your engines.
Your home of NASCAR is Extra 106.3. Staying in Central America, I'm Tom Graham, Fox News. El Salvador's leader is rejecting a U.S. court demand to return an immigrant mistakenly deported from Maryland.
Sitting next to President Trump in the Oval Office, El Salvador's President Nayib Bukele says, of course, he will not return Maher Garcia to the U.S. after a Supreme Court ruling required the Trump administration to facilitate his return to the country.
Well, I'm supposed to have suggested that I smuggle terrorists into the United States, right?
Abrego Garcia was mistakenly deported from Maryland last month. The Trump administration says federal courts have no jurisdiction since the migrant is a citizen of El Salvador. Justice Department officials also argue Abrego Garcia is a member of MS-13 and was living in the U.S. illegally. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is calling for a global response to the latest missile strike by the Kremlin. At least 34 are dead after an attack on a city near the Russian border. President Trump reacting to Zelensky's latest request for weapons.
Oh, I don't know. He's always looking to purchase missiles. You know, he's against. Listen, when you start a war, you got to know that you can win the war, right? You don't start a war against somebody that's 20 times your size and then hope that people give you some missiles.
The war began with the Russian invasion of Ukraine. The Kremlin has so far rejected U.S. terms for a ceasefire agreement. A suspect hospitalized after breaking into the Pennsylvania governor's mansion and setting it on fire. Investigators say Corey Balmer used a Molotov cocktail and was armed with a hammer. Governor Josh Shapiro, others had to evacuate the mansion early Sunday morning.
No fire suppression system. There was a fire alarm system, but not an active fire suppression system, meaning fire sprinklers that would have put the fire out before it spread.
Harrisburg police chief, fire chief, Brian Enterline there. The governor and his family were not injured. America is listening to Fox News.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
Look out. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer with Pete Davis. It's Masters symbol is up. It's a Masters Pete Davis Monday. Oh, my God. With the mechanical bangle at the controls. Flounder in the building of darkness over there in the cave. And here we go. Happy Monday. Da-da-da-da-da. How you doing, boy? No, wait, is that a hat? What do you got? You're wearing something. Did you go to the Masters again? Oh, hold on. We don't have a song.
I got it last year. It's a Masters garden flag.
Ah, the garden flag, Masters flag, huh? Very nice, very nice, very nice. And of course, and the flounder of the controls, and it's Monday, and here we go. So we got a million things to talk about. In fact, speaking of the Masters, Holy Crap at Sports is coming up later, but several things about the Masters might be of interest and so forth. So just briefly, Pete Davis is part of your weekend. Oh, hi, Tiffany. Is that Tiffany? That's our work wife. Hey, sweetie. How you doing, baby? There you go. There she goes. Come on and talk. Oh, she's not going to talk.
Doesn't like you.
No, she doesn't like you. So weekend, Pete Davis, and Masters thoughts off the top of your head?
A lot of butt sitting, watching a lot of golf.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, a beautiful weekend to sit inside and watch golf, watch other people play in the sun and have a good time. I tell you what, it went from exciting to boring to exciting yesterday. Amazing.
I was going to say the exact same thing, too. In fact, there was a point where I said, oh, God, this is really getting stupid. And in fact, I made a dumb decision about that, but we'll get to it in a moment. In fact, I screwed myself for being an idiot. And I'm just, I can't just sit and do one thing. And it cost me, and I'm furious about it. It's my own stupid fault. Coming up shortly. Flounder, and you and Mrs. Flounder, weekend stuff. Are you a Masters golf
yeah, we watched the Masters throughout the weekend. Played a little tennis, did some yard work, and enjoyed the outdoor weather.
I used to play back with my starter wife, the one who loved me, when we first, in the early 70s, we moved to a place where they had a tennis court, part of a community thing, a tennis court, and there was a guy in the neighborhood, a married guy in the neighborhood, and he was a really good tennis player, and I played tennis with him kind of after work, 3-4 nights a week. And it was really fun. I got a great exercise for one thing, but also, and it was pretty cool. It was pretty fun.
I got my ass kicked this weekend.
What's that?
I got my ass kicked this week. I haven't played in a while. So.
Well, there you go. Well,
it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, that's good. There you go. In fact, Flounder has kind of teased me with a possible potential golf outing coming up here sometime as a little outing with Mrs. Veronica, Mrs. Flounder. And so I actually went and hit balls this weekend. And
how'd you hit?
I actually hit him great. There's the problem because when I played with my grandson a couple of weeks ago, I actually hit the ball pretty good, but I couldn't. My chipping was horrible, and I missed every putt. I mean, it was just so but that's expected because I don't practice. I haven't played a round of golf really on my own in like 9 years. So, and I already warned Danny McLefty, my PGA Pro member buddy, that he's going to join us because he's a lefty and you're a lefty too. So that'd be kind of fun.
Yes, I definitely need to get some pointers from
you. Well, anyway, and I do have a kind of a master thing I'll tell you in a second. First of all, let's see. God, I got so many things here. The taxes. I sent my taxes. Did you pay your tax? Did you owe tax money? You owed tax money, didn't you, Pete? I think.
I just spent an hour trying to pay my taxes, and I tried to do it online, and it refused to take the debit card. Said it wasn't real when it was. So I called him up and I talked to a nice lady, and she goes, "Well, the card's fine. I don't know why I won't take it." So she sent me to another automated thing with a special pin to go into it. And, of course, it took me right back to the main thing.
Well, modern technology, the way you should do it,
nothing in the federal government works, basically. It's all waste, fraud, corruption, and just absolutely mismanaged.
Yeah, well, mine went in the mailbox today, in the postal mailbox today. Although we have a deadline extension. You get until sometime in May because we had the hurricane stuff. So, but again, if it's postmarked originally, theoretically, by April 15th, which is tomorrow, then it's okay. But there is an extension for Georgia residents because of storm damage until either the 1st of May or 15th of May. I don't remember, but anyway, whatever. And now, Flounder, did you owe any extra money, or did they already take all they needed of yours?
They took all they needed.
Yeah, well, I got killed this year, and I don't know why I didn't make any freaking money.
I had issues with capital gains, so.
Oh, I see. I don't believe in capital gains. It doesn't require. That's the thing about. Well, I love the companies. I'm all in favor of them. And they say, they want me to invest in their company, and I'm going great. I'm all in favor of that. Now, what? Do you give me the money to invest, or where do I get the money to invest? I mean, that's they never mentioned where I'm supposed to get the money to invest with them. I'd be very happy to if I had the money. I guarantee you, I'd put it right down today. So I mean, I tell Flounder to take over for an hour, and I'd run right down there. I mean, So anyway. So
do you remember when that comedian we had a few weeks ago basically said that, you ask somebody's phone number and they give it to you in the wrong order?
Yeah, in the wrong order. 47-2167.
Kevin James, I'll get that one today.
So they asked me for my Social Security number. And
you went two at a time instead of time?
It was ba 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 ba. No, this is what it went ba 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 ba
No, that's right.
Ba, ba, ba.
You don't do
I'm like,
four. No.
Repeat that.
Well, that is a funny bit. It's worth fun. Oh, mercy. All right, well, I'll tell my stupid... We have newsy stuff. We got other things. Oh, and also... I tell you, I am actually, when I was doing my stable videos, again, I can only go to the stable, time to go to the stable on Saturdays and Sundays, and I try to get enough videos so I can post at least one during the week, because I can't go during the week. But anyway, so when I was there this weekend, I noticed a fly lit on my knee, on my jeans, and I said, I'm going to see whether I still got it to catch that fly. And sure enough, I Facebooked it, I videoed it, and put it on Facebook. Just a reminder, ladies, I can still drive at night, and the dexterity is still there, baby. Just saying. I'm just saying. And by the way, there's a trick to it. But if you ever, can you catch flies? Have you ever tried to catch flies?
I've never tried to catch a fly.
Well, next time a fly lights somewhere, I do it if they light on my TV screen or something, and I'll take my phone camera out, and I'll catch a fly. Flounder, are you a fly? Can you catch flies? Have you ever tried to catch flies?
I've done it many of times and failed many of times. Aren't you supposed? Like I've done it once where I got it where you clap up.
Well, you see I mean one hand.
Oh no.
Like
no.
I
you Renfield?
You didn't look at my video? I sent you a video. You didn't see my video of my fly catching? I sent you video this morning.
Kimmer.
Yeah.
Read my shirt.
Oh, not everything is a thing. Yeah, that's Kimmer's shirt. All right, 310. Anyway, I'm quite proud of that, I must say. Well, I was playing with kitty cats and horses. All right, 404-741-1230, 741-1230. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. We have Holy Crap at Sports. We got a game. We got tweets. We got Flounder's Funnies, and a billion things. A lot more on the Masters, too. In fact, I hadn't really thought about this until I read it. New York Post cover. I don't think Fox did. When Rory McIlroy won the Masters, they made a point of having a visual cue body language expert describe Rory McIlroy's wife's reaction to his winning. Again, they split up months ago, and he wanted a divorce, irreconcilable difference, that was over, and so forth. And then they got back together again, and they said, well, she clearly is measured. And then the story went on to say, and I feel bad about this, I really do, but it was a thing, and it was right out there in front of God and everybody. When Rory McIlroy split from his wife for those several months, he started dating that blonde girl who works on the Golf Channel, or for CBS. No, it's true. I mean, he was dating her, and it was clear. And they said, and then when he won, she did the interview. The girl he was dating did the interview with him, and so the wife, no wonder she was a little subdued, knowing that her husband, her loving husband, was shacked up with this other chick who's doing the interview to congratulate him on winning the Masters. I thought, oh man, God, the poor thing. I mean, and again, the shame of it is, he had his little girl there, the little 4-year-old little girl. Which is sweet, and he gave her, never quit, darling, always live up to your dreams, a great daddy moment, all this kind of stuff. But what a heartbreaking situation that the wife, who supported him for all the years, for the many years that he was trying to win, suddenly is cut aside because he's being interviewed by the woman he was shacked up with, perhaps the reason he left his marriage for all that. I mean, it was just horrible. I felt so bad for her, because she should have been the one to originally be the wife to share in the glory of the husband.
And she put the hat over them when he came up and hugged her, so you couldn't see what they were saying to each other.
I know.
But it was CBS
and she patted
wrong.
him on the back. That's not oh my God, honey, you did it. We're She patted him on the back like, okay, that's so nice. Which is
okay. Was it unprofessional for CBS to have Amanda Bialonis or whatever?
Yeah, probably
interview him.
Yeah,
I don't
absolutely.
think she should have done.
Jim Nance should have done. Anybody but her. They got 9 guys up there. They have 50 guys they could have done it. They're sitting right there waiting. I mean, that was just cheesy. And again, I didn't know it or think about it because it wasn't part of my life. Anyway, I'm just sorry. Again.
I was thinking, is she going to interview him if he wins? And I didn't watch whether she did or not. You're saying she did.
Yeah, they showed. That's
unprofessional of CBS to do that.
Yeah, they had her comments. Well, what a tribute it is, and all the years you put into it. That's what the wife should have been saying. Anyway, it's just creepy.
If it's
life,
true.
if it's true. And again, by the way, this is is support your and forgive your ex-spouse day. Yeah, it's an actual official thing. I'll talk about later. Yeah, like that's going to happen. 3:13. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. It's Monday. We got it all coming up. El Salvador guys talking. It's pretty cool. We got and Bill Maher and Chris Whitmer. Oh man,
we also got Al Gay on the phone.
Al Gay,
so.
the tire man. All right, coming up next. Look out. Here we go.
Wherever you are in Georgia, you can stream Extra 106.3 and crystal clear digital with the all-new Extra 106.3 app. Get Extra's live on-air stream in real time, or go back and listen to all your favorite shows, Neil Bortz, or original podcasts, no matter where you go. Grab the Extra 106.3 app now and start streaming.
Yeah, there we go. 3:14. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. And going back to the dentist. And I'm already laughing and smiling about it. Atlanta Smiles. That's the name of Dr. Dina Giesler's practice, Atlanta Smiles. And it's true, dentist for the doggy. And I mean, so many stories. I mean, she'd been like our family dentist 30 years ago when I started. And even when I retired to Florida and I came back to have her fix stuff that was done elsewhere, because she's such a pro. Former Navy officer dentist, so veterans get 10% discount right off the top when you go to Atlanta Smiles. And again, there's a guy dentist there too, working with her, but Dr. Dina has a staff full of these women, professional women, teeth expert, gum expert women who take care of stuff. And honestly, it's like she hired a bunch of happy, smiling models to make it feel better. I mean, they're all real total pros, but they're just so darn nice and friendly and happy. They love what they do. They love their clients, and it's like a day spa. And one of the reasons I say that it's not just because if you want the gas, you can get the gas, but she has a little doggy, little Zha, little teeny doggy, and she will come and take a nap in your lap while you're getting your teeth fixed and done and your gums and everything else, whether it's veneers or, cosmetic stuff or cleaning and bridges and crowns, or like I got this little thing, AI designed a little thing that was going through, or it's got a little thing and a thing there. And so I'm going later this week, and I'll tell you all about it when I get there. And again, it's a great experience. And, if you're going to the dentist, you might as well be glad you did. And I'm glad every time I go, and I'll be glad again this week. Ask for the doggy. Here's the number. Veterans get a discount when you call. Tell them when you call 404-262-7733. On the web, your smile's waiting. AtlantaSmiles.com.
Have you considered securing your family's future, protecting your hard-earned assets, navigating complex legal matters with ease? Nelson Elder Care Law is here to guide and empower you and your loved ones. As a family-owned and family-focused business, our mission is to exceed your expectations, offering absolute assurance and peace of mind. With our trademarked Absolute Protection Trust and expertise in customized estate planning, Medicaid crisis solutions, probate administration, guardianship, and conservatorship, Nelson Elder Care Law protects what matters most to you. Imagine a team dedicated to safeguarding your legacy every step of the way. Our flat fees ensure transparency, and our customized plans prioritize your family's specific needs. Are you worried about protecting your family and your legacy after you're gone? Let us help you ensure you're absolutely protected from whatever curveballs life may throw your way. Schedule a complimentary legacy planning meeting with our legal team in Marietta or Woodstock today. Contact us at 678-250-9355 or visit at nelsoneldercarelaw.com.
Are you tired of dealing with loud, ugly, drafty garage doors? Do you have certain rooms in the house that you can't keep cool in the summer or warm in the winter? Hi, I'm Dan Watkins with All Four Seasons Garage, Entry Doors, and Windows. Now is a great time to upgrade with brand new, efficient, quiet, and beautiful garage doors. Your garage door is the biggest opening in your home, which is why it's such an important part of your home's curb appeal and energy efficiency. Give us a call today at 770-517-7078. Get started today by visiting us at allfourseasonsgarages.com.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Terry's Tiny Homes, Terry! Sure, as the only employee of her company, Terry was probably the front runner, but saving money getting personalized discounts with a commercial auto quote from Progressive, well, that gave Terry the edge. Over Terry. Terry! Keep awkwardly chanting your own name, Terry. You deserve it. Woo! Be your own Terry. See if you could save in as little as 7 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
It's the NRA Annual Meetings and Exhibits at the World Congress Center, April 25th to 27th. 14 acres of guns and gear. A freedom-filled weekend with activities for the entire family. Tickets just $10. NRA members get in free. Visit nratickets.com.
And now this dramatic pause. Here we go. Look out, Kimber, Pete, and Flounder, 319. And this is Justin Bieber. You know, I don't think I've ever actually heard a song of his all the way through. Whatever. Is he still even singing? Is he still even a thing at all of anything? He's married to some famous girl, isn't he?
Diddy thing.
I'm sorry, say again?
The Diddy thing has kind of thrown him for a loop.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he's been in on Twitter and videotape and photograph. He does not look very healthy. He does not look mentally stable.
Yeah, and weren't they saying because he's been linked to P. Diddy as well? I mean, the thought was that P. Diddy kind of groomed him under his wing to be part of these sex parties, perhaps with other guys and things like that. I mean, that's the inclination, that's the supposition, I guess, and that Bieber's not doing well because of it and is kind of messed up, and his friends are a little worried about him. I mean, that's what I've heard. I don't know anything about this, but is he performing? Is he still singing? Has he just disappeared? You know, for the last few years. Did he marry somebody famous?
He's married to
she's famous now, right?
Haley Baldwin.
Yeah, Haley Bieber.
They're married, and since he's married her, he hasn't come out with any new music or any kind of content.
But she shows up, I think, on social media quite a bit.
She's a social media light.
Yeah. Anyway, Justin Bieber on this day in 2013. Wow. When he was a kid, he caused outrage after going to the Anne Frank Museum on a trip. He was 19 years old at the time, and he went to the Anne Frank Museum, and he hoped the Holocaust victim would have been a fan. Bieber wrote in the message guest book, quote, "Truly inspiring to be able to come here. Anne was a great girl. Hopefully she would have been a believer." And that provoked fierce online criticism of Bieber, who was Canadian. He was in Amsterdam as part of the tour. I'm not sure that should be, I mean, it's probably tacky. But anyway, now just say we have Al Gay on the phone. Is that correct there, Flounder? It was Monday, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 320 Al, 321. Al Gay, you're on the radio, man. How's it going, Mr. Former Wheel Guy?
That's right. What up? How you doing?
Yes, sir. On the right side of the grass. What's happening?
I heard that. Well, I thought that what better birthday present to call you and talk to you. So,
happy birthday, Al! I'll be darned. I remember you from your wheel and tire shop place up there in Marietta, man. You see all the time.
That's right. And it's great to see that motorcycle back in.
Oh man, I can't believe it. It's a monster, even more of a monster than it was, and I can't believe all the people. Yeah, it was all done in secret, without me knowing. I was going to just junk it because I didn't have anybody messing around with them, chopper, and they just anyway. They're just thrilled and unworthy, but I'm absolutely thrilled with it. Anyway, well, happy birthday, Al. What's new? What's going on?
Oh, not much. Just I'm out here in the front yard dumping mulch out in my flower bed. So I couldn't thinking about you, so I thought I'd call.
Well, thanks. Well, have a great day.
Timber and mulch.
Now you're talking. Al, have a great day, my friend. Nice to talk to you guys. I hit my own mic thing off that thing there. Oh Lord, it's Monday. I don't know why I'm all freaked out. I'm really well. I was going to get. I can't. I got to do my thing. I'm sorry. I'm out of my format too. I have to do birthdays in history, or I'm just not going to be happy. Our birthday list includes Anthony Michael Hall. 57 years old. You remember him from 16 Candles and Weird Science, The Breakfast Club, National Lampoon's Vacation. Anthony Michael Hall's 57. When he was 17, he was the youngest Saturday Night Live cast member, and then he had to go to rehab. It was after his Brat Pack years. Anthony Michael Hall was Winona Ryder's boyfriend in Edward Scissorhands and the star of The Dead Zone. And he did a lot of adult things on the Blacklist.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
Yeah, he's a very good actor. As it turned out. In fact, I really think for a guy who was a Brat Pack Well, actually, several of them did, but he really did have some talent, and instead of being kind of a weird science goof, he turned himself into a professional, serious actor of good repute. So I'm happy for him. That was well done. And on this day in history, it's a little long, but it's an important day, 323, and you may not have known a few things you're about to hear about John Wilkes Booth. This was the day in 1865, Abraham Lincoln is shot in the head, Ford's Theater. John Wilkes Booth shouted, "Sic semper tyrannis, ever thus to tyrants, the South is avenged." He jumped onto the stage, fled on horseback. Lincoln died the next morning. In fact, I forgot. I should have looked this up. I've just recurred to me now. Pete, maybe you remember. There's some story about the first X-ray taken of Lincoln on his bed, looking for the bullet or something. There's some weird X-ray story about taking a picture.
Was it a fluoroscope?
Yeah, or it was. I can't remember. There was something weird about it. It might have caused something, or did. I don't remember. There was some weird story. I should have looked it up. I'm sorry. I shouldn't say this when I just think of something stupid. Anyway, a couple quick things. Booth was a state of the North. He was a Confederate sympathizer. He wanted to capture Lincoln, take him to Richmond, the Confederate capital, but the president failed to appear at the spot where Booth and 6 fellow conspirators were waiting to kidnap him. So it had to be called off. 2 weeks later, Richmond fell to Union forces. In April, Confederate armies near collapse across the South. Booth said, "I'm going to go save the Confederacy." At Ford's Theater, he plotted the simultaneous assassination of Lincoln and Vice President Andrew Johnson and Secretary of State William Seward. Murdering all 3, including the 2 possible successors, Booth said, and his conspirators said they're going to throw the government into complete paralyzing disarray to save the South. On April 14th, Lewis, one of his conspirators, Lewis Powell, burst into the Secretary of State's house, Seward's home, seriously wounded him and 3 others, while another guy assigned to kill Vice President Johnson lost his nerve and took off and fled, forgot the whole thing. So 2 out of 3 were not killed. The president was mortally wounded, carried to a cheap lodging house, died at 7:22 the next morning, the first president to be assassinated. Booth was an actor. During the war, he stayed in the North. He was bitter. With his friends, conspired to deliver Lincoln to the da-da-da. By the way, he walked into the theater and up to the president's box. Lincoln's guard, John Parker, was not there because he got bored with a play and left his post guarding Lincoln to go get a beer. Holy mackerel, I didn't know that. Booth slipped in easily, shot Lincoln in the back of the head. A friend tried to grab Booth, but Booth had a knife and slashed the guy who tried to stop him. He hurt his leg badly when he jumped to the stage, hobbled outside to his horse. They caught up with him on April 26th. He was in a barn. They said, "You can surrender or we're going to burn it down." One of his buddies, Harold, said, "I'll surrender." Booth stayed in the barn and shot a gun. They set it on fire. Booth was then shot and killed in the burning barn by a corporal, and the others were captured and they were hanged, including one of the conspirators' mothers was hanged in Washington, Mary Surratt, believed to be a miscarriage of justice, but there was proof that she was the original part of the conspiracy, and so they hanged her too.
Great movie called The Conspirator, directed by Robert Redford about 15 years ago. It's a very good movie about it.
I remember hearing about it. I've never seen it. In fact, I've never even seen it posted or advertised or anything.
Robin Wright and James McAvoy. It's a great, great movie.
And by the way, speaking of things like this, I got a few questions about the Pennsylvania governor's mansion thing. And again, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 327-404-741-1230, 741-1230. The Pennsylvania governor's mansion attack. Do I understand this correctly? This guy was only caught because he turned himself in. Okay. Cody Balmer, a 38-year-old guy, walked to the Pennsylvania governor's mansion with, he had some gasoline he took from his lawnmower and poured it into some Heineken beer bottles he found at his house, walked an hour to the governor's mansion, scaled a 7-foot perimeter fence, broke 2 windows with a hammer, and started throwing Molotov cocktails inside, which blew up the whole place. Fire burned. Have you seen the video? It's all destroyed. Destroyed. I mean, it was a fire. The living room there, the whole thing was just destroyed. And then he knew that Shapiro, the governor, and his family were home at the time. They just had a Seder dinner. He said, if I'd come face to face with Governor Shapiro, I'd have beaten him with a hammer. He was outside the mansion. Cameras caught him being there with a snap-on black jacket and boots, carrying a bag. The troopers found the bag. But here's the thing. He climbed the fence. He broke the windows with a hammer, set off Molotov cocktails, and walked away. And got away. And the only reason they caught him was because his ex-girlfriend told the cops, he confessed to his ex-lover that he wanted her to call the police and turn him in. And then he turned himself into the state police. Okay, I don't get it. The governor's mansion, he did it and got away with it. And it reminds me, the guy who wanted to murder Donald Trump also got away with it. He was in the golf course woods, and he had the gun, and he could have shot Donald Trump. And when they saw him, he still got away. If it hadn't been for somebody in the crowd just noticing the car license plate number, he would have gotten away entirely. He would have gotten away. The sniper who did shoot Donald Trump in the face, got away with it, basically. He got away with assassinating the president, but for a 2-inch head turn. I mean, it's astounding. The guy got away with it. The state troopers were looking for him while he was in there setting fire to the house. Because when they saw the video of I'm astounded. Absolutely.
Why does he hate him? Did he say why he hates him?
No, he hates him. He must be a psycho. And again, and by the way, one thing, the Governor Shapiro said, this kind of violence is becoming far too ill, and I don't give a damn if it's coming from one particular side or the other. Oh, stop playing politics coming from one side or the other. He's trying to pretend that this is some kind of Trump thing. I mean, please, you're killing me here.
90% coming from his side.
Yeah, it's Democrats. The Jew haters. These aren't anti-Israeli protesters. They're Jew haters, and they're all Democrats. And by the way, the governor of Pennsylvania is Jewish. The only reason he wasn't part of the ticket, and probably one of the reasons they lost, was because he's a Jew. Remember that, Democrats, the next time you don't vote for him. What's the matter with you? God, 3:30, Kimber, Pete, and Flounder. Monday, baby. Oh, I'm rocking and rolling the rock.
Listen to the Morning Extra, The Kimmer Show, Neil Bortz, and all your favorite Extra 106.3 personalities whenever you want with the all-new Extra app. It's anytime show replays, all your favorite podcasts, and the latest political news from across Georgia. Download the Extra 106.3 app now for Apple or Android.
All right, look out now. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer, 331. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. How's your health care doing? You know, I'll tell you, we're talking about good health and make America healthy again and stuff like that. If you're still hunting around or have a problem with your health insurance premiums, they've been skyrocketing. We're talking about owing the government money and stuff like that. If you're overpaying and you're on a COBRA thing, or you're almost at Medicare, or you have your own business or self-insured, or whatever the deal is, there's help. It's the health insurance doctor. His name is Steven, the health insurance doctor, and the big boys are back in town. He's got a thing called Trump Care. Boy, oh boy, what a difference. He's got families. I know one guy saving 60% compared to Obamacare, Schmamacare. Been doing this for decades in the Atlanta area. A guy faced a $48,000 hospital bill. The health insurance doctor not only covered it, but put money back in his pocket. Also, premiums are a thing. How about zero deductibles? How about no copay? How about not forking over the $50 when you walk into the office? Stuff like that. Did you know there are IRS penalties for, I don't know for what, but there are some. Subsidies are hard to get. I don't know about that either, but he does. The health insurance doctor, you're killing me. And by the way, he'll look all this stuff up for you, and you don't have to pay him. It's a free deal to you. Here's his number. Check it out. 678-523-0759. Look him up on the web. healthinsurancedoctor.net.
Hear that? That's the sound of the 2025 Duck Pluck event benefiting Special Olympics Georgia. This year, you can make a splash for the 18,546 athletes and adopt your duck today to support Special Olympics Georgia. With your duck adoption, you will not only be entered to win some awesome prizes, but you'll be sending athletes to games with everything from food to housing. The Duck Pluck will be held on Wednesday, September 17th, and you don't need to be present to win. So adopt your duck today, starting at just $10 at duckrace.com/Atlanta.
You have enough to deal with after an accident. You don't want to spend a lot of that time messing around with insurance companies. Besides, what are you going to say to them? You really know the ins and outs? David Van Sant at Van Sant Law does. He used to work for the insurance companies. Their worst nightmare. He knows who to call, what to say, how to listen to him, and he has your best interest at heart. Van Sant Law, 855-GA-INJURY. VanSantLaw.com, 855-GA-INJURY.
Hi, I'm Chris Lalamia, owner of the Trusted Toolbox. Got a to-do list a mile long? No problem. We've got the ultimate solution, our Handyman for a Day program. Here's how it works. You get a skilled handyman dedicated to knocking out your honey-do list. Paint touch-ups, drywall repairs, door adjustments, and much more, all done in one day. You want to jump into spring and not worry about your home? Call us now before the rush for your Handyman for a Day and call us at 770-623-3097 or visit us at thetrustedtoolbox.com. One call, one handyman, one day. The Trusted Toolbox.
If you've been thinking about a new Ford, now's the time to buy. At Jim Ellis Ford Sandy Springs, you can take advantage of employee pricing on select new Ford models.
That means you pay what Ford employees pay. No markup, no hidden fees. It's all a part of Ford's bold campaign, from America for America.
While others may raise prices due to new auto tariffs, Jim Ellis Ford Sandy Springs is stepping up, giving you the power to save big on American-made vehicles. Choose from bestsellers like the F-150, rugged Bronco, capable Explorer, or the all-electric Mustang Mach-E.
Vehicles built to move America and move you.
And when you buy from Jim Ellis Ford Sandy Springs, you're not just getting a great deal, you're getting award-winning service from a locally family-owned dealership.
Find your perfect Ford just 4 miles north of 285 on Roswell Road, or shop online at JimEllisFord.com. Jim Ellis Ford Sandy Springs, where you pay what we pay,
and where you can always expect the best.
If you're the decision maker at your company, we have great news for you, for your HR department, and for your employees. A new and future-forward way to do health benefits is here from Thatch. Not only do your employees get better health benefits with Thatch, but you save an average of $1,620 per employee per year. That's right. You can save over $1,600 per employee per year. Plus, Thatch reduces the time your HR department spends administering benefits. Businesses all over the country love Thatch's breakthrough approach. Rather than a wasteful one-size-fits-all plan, Thatch empowers your employees by letting them customize their own benefits plans. And you save money and time while providing your employees with better health benefits, which works better for everyone. Book a demo with Thatch and we'll send you a $100 gift card. Visit thatch.ai/radio to book a demo for your gift card. That's THATCH.ai/radio. Thatch.ai/radio.
Stream Clay Travis and Buck Sexton, Glenn Beck, Fox News, and even NASCAR on Sundays, anywhere on the Extra 1063 app. Download the app now and get 24/7 access to the live stream, the latest news, and everything you need to know about Atlanta's only conservative talk station. Download the Extra 1063 app for Apple or Android and check out even more great original content at thepodcastpark.com.
Let me tell you how it will be.
The tax man.
There's one for you, 19 for me.
George Harrison. In the news. The tax man, baby. Tomorrow, tax day, although it's delayed for us. 2009, former Beatle George Harrison was honored with a posthumous star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in Los Angeles. Sir Paul McCartney attended the unveiling outside the landmark Capitol Records building, joining Harrison's widow Olivia and son Donnie. Eric Idle, Oscar winner Tom Hanks, and musician Tom Petty also attended the ceremony in 2009, a star in the Walk of Fame. It's 3:37. Kim Repeat and Flounder. Our birthday list includes Abigail Breslin. You may not know the name. She's 29. If you ever saw the movie Little Miss Sunshine, that was Abigail Breslin, 29 years old, and also the kick-ass junior zombie killer in Zombieland. Abigail Breslin was Chanel No. 5 on Scream Queens and Baby in the Dirty Dancing remake. Also, the cute little girl from Signs. Abigail Breslin, 29 years old today with a thing there. And I mentioned it was a very important day in 1865 when the guard supposedly preventing anything happening to Abraham Lincoln, the president, while he was at the Ford Theater going to the play. The guard got bored with the show and went off to get a beer. And ironically, on this day in history, Ulysses S. Grant and his wife were invited to join President and Mrs. Lincoln at Ford's Theater to go see the comedic play Our American Cousin. And they said, we don't really feel like it. And in so doing, he deprives John Wilkes Booth of another target. Just by chance, he would have killed them both. He got away with it. At least, until they got him later. But he got away with it. It's amazing to me. Like the guy in Pennsylvania, the governor's mansion, torched the governor's mansion with the family inside and walked away. He got away. He turned himself in, and only because his guy. Well, anyway, I'm astounded. 3:38. Kimmer, Peyton, Flounder. We're going to play some sound bites here coming up here in a second. First of all, a quick newsy update. I actually did a little thing on my phone here. Hold on now, Mr. Phone. Don't give me this stuff here. La-di-da. Here we go. Donald Trump today at the White House. And I was hoping he would kind of stick around to do some live interview stuff like he's been doing almost every day, but he didn't today. Today at the White House, President Trump welcomed the president of El Salvador, as a Bukele. I forgot, I don't know how they pronounce it. I haven't been listening carefully when they say his name. Anyway, the El Salvador president guy, he says, we know you have a crime problem and a terrorism problem you need help with, Mr. President, and we're a small country, but we can help you. And he says, our country, El Salvador, actually turned the murder capital of the world, that was what they called us, the murder capital of the world, into the safest country in the Western Hemisphere. And so the El Salvador president said, Mr. President, you have 350 million people to liberate. You can't just free the criminals and think crime's going to go down. You have to put them in prison so you can liberate 350 million Americans asking for the end of crime and the end of terrorism. It can be done. And, of course, Donald Trump is loving this guy in El Salvador, sending hundreds, including Venezuelan gangbangers, to the notorious prison down there. Incidentally, President Nayib is his first name, El Salvador, said he has no ability to send the Maryland guy deported to the Central American country. He has no authority to send him back to America. Remember, the Supreme Court said he directed Trump's administration to, quote, take steps to facilitate his return. Well, that's one thing, but the El Salvador guy says, I hope you're not suggesting that I smuggle terrorists back into the United States. He said, I'm not going to do that. The question is preposterous. I don't have the power to send him back to the United States. This guy was removed last month for the overcrowded terrorism confinement center. Trump administration claimed he was confirmed to be a ranking member of MS-13, reliable sources. He illegally entered the country in 2011. Other courts have confirmed it. Attorney General Pam Bondi says he was illegally in our country. That's up to El Salvador if they want to return him. That's not up to us. The Supreme Court ruled if El Salvador wants to return him, we would facilitate it, meaning providing a plane. And Marco Rubio, Secretary of State, says, hey, the foreign policy is conducted by the president, not by a court. And one other thing, Donald Trump said, hey, by the way, in El Salvador, do you allow your men in women's sports? Do you allow men to box women? The president of El Salvador said, that's violence. That's abuse of a woman. But we have people that fight to the death because they think men should be able to play in women's sports, according to Donald Trump. And again, that's how we said, this guy in El Salvador says, we're big on protecting our women. Most of the cabinet members in the Oval Office with Donald Trump are women. They're not DEI hires or anything. Of course, his own cabinet, Pam Bondi, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles, most powerful woman in the world, probably. Anyway, so that was going on. And by the way, did you hear the comments? Donald Trump has become so much more of a human being. I love the way he shows up. 2 o'clock in the morning on Air Force One, he's doing news interviews with his granddaughter. Kai, his granddaughter, hanging around with him, and he says, oh, you want to meet the fake press here, Kai? This is the fake press I've been talking about all these years. I mean, it's hysterical. He's a grandfather. He just seems like a sweet old man. And by the way, let's do the Bill Maher bit here, Flounder. 342, Kimmer, Peyton, Flounder. And Bill Maher, a couple things here. The Democrats are eating their own, turning on themselves. I'm telling you, I can't get enough of this. I just freaking love this. And Bill Maher went to go see Donald Trump and had dinner with him over the weekend. A few days ago, actually, and then he revealed some of the details at his meeting last week with President Donald Trump at the White House. Here's one of the general overall comment is revealed pretty well here. Let's play Bill Maher, Flounder, if you will, on his meeting with President Trump and his dinner.
My favorite part of the whole night was we were standing in the job room.
The Monica Lewinsky room.
We were. And he said, you know, I've heard from a lot of people who really like that we're having this dinner. Not all, but a lot. And I said, same. A lot of people told me they loved it, but not all. And we agreed. The people who don't even want us to talk, we don't like you. Don't talk, as opposed to what? Writing the same editorial for the millionth time and making 25-hour speeches into the wind? Really, that's what liberals have? He takes the piss out of everybody else and we can hold ours? Okay, that's my report. You can hate me for it, but I'm not a liar. Trump was gracious and measured, and why he isn't that in other settings, I don't know, and I can't answer, and it's not my place to answer. I'm just telling you what I saw, and I wasn't high.
He went on to say, I have no power. I'm a blanking comedian. He's the most powerful leader in the world. I'm not the leader of anything except maybe a contingent of centrist-minded people who think there's got to be a better way of running the country than hating each other every minute. He said, Trump leveled at him over the years. Trump signed with good humor. He said, millions of liberal sphincters just tightened. Oh, my God, Bill, you going to say something nice about Donald Trump? He said, what I'm going to do is report exactly what happened. He said, and I remember saying this out loud, and I think I don't remember whether you guys hadn't thought about it or mocked me, or I can't remember. I have never seen Donald Trump laugh. I've never seen Donald Trump guffaw, laugh, you know, a real out loud laugh. Well, Bill Maher said the same thing. He said, I was so surprised that Donald Trump laughs, and how he laughs. He's never seen him do it in public. He does, including laughing at himself. And Bill Maher said, it's not fake. Believe me, as a comedian for 40 years, I know a fake laugh when I hear it. Donald Trump is much more self-aware than he lets on in public. He doesn't matter who he is at a private dinner with a comedian. It matters who he is on the world stage. Everything I've ever not liked about him was, I swear to God, absent at least on this night with this guy. I never felt I had to walk on eggshells around him. Honestly, I voted for Clinton and Obama, but I would never feel comfortable talking to them the way I was able to talk with Donald Trump. That's how it went down. Make of it what you will. Me, I feel it's emblematic of why the Democrats are so unpopular these days. And again, think about, you know, Kristen Whitmer, Governor Christine Whitmer. I can't remember her first name. Whitmer. Gretchen Whitmer. And I know a girl named Christine. Gretchen Whitmer. And now they're really mocking the hell out of her when she was at the meeting with the Oval Office with Donald Trump, and then tried to hide her face so she wouldn't come back to haunt her, which it is. Now all of the Democrats, and by the way, I'll bet you there goes her chance of ever being another woman running for president from the Democrat Party, at least for an awful long time. I think she just ruined her chances of being a Democrat nominee for president by getting caught being an idiot and trying to hide her face in a notebook. And by the way, I think that latest picture going around may be fake. I'm not sure. But either way, it doesn't matter. The truth is the truth. She was embarrassed and she had to say something nice about Donald Trump and trying to make things safer, and now they're attacking her for it. And again, this is what they do. Anyway, we got more coming up, including what Bill Maher thought about Donald Trump when he saw him on reacting to 60 Minutes. That's coming up next to 346. Kim, Pete, and Flounder. How's your Monday? 404-741-1230. If you like, give us a jingle or something. I don't know. What do you think? Look out.
Let's be here to enjoy the left's meltdown together. Extra 106.3 is dialed into all the latest breaking news and headlines, so you don't have to suffer through the left-wing spin. Get it right from Atlanta's only conservative voice. Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
If you're thinking about a new Chevy, don't wait. Now's the time. Head to Jim Ellis Chevrolet, where the price is right now.
Lock in your lowest price today before prices start to rise due to new tariffs. Shop early while inventory is strong. Right now, Jim Ellis Chevrolet has more than 400 vehicles in stock on the ground, ready to take home today. That includes the legendary Silverado, family-friendly SUVs like the Equinox, Tahoe, and Suburban, one of the largest Corvette selections in the metro Atlanta area. And if you're shopping pre-owned, you'll find a great selection of certified vehicles too, thoroughly inspected inspected and ready to roll.
At Jim Ellis Chevrolet, you'll find exactly what you want, but don't wait too long. Get yours today before prices go up and vehicle selection goes down. No pressure, no games, just a transparent customer-first experience that makes buying easy.
And after the sale, Jim Ellis Chevrolet is still with you thanks to factory-trained technicians who will keep your Chevy running strong. For the latest offers, stop by their showroom on Peachtree Industrial Boulevard just inside the perimeter.
Or shop anytime at JimEllisChevrolet.com. Jim Ellis Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Hey, this is Matt from East Cobb. So ATL Turf Co. did an amazing job with our backyard transformation. They basically created a miniature golf hole. We have a miniature fairway. We also have a miniature little putting green. Consists of about 4 holes. After that transformation, my father-in-law came and saw his house the way it looked. Sure enough, he did the same thing with ATL Turf Co. He has a beautiful backyard, wonderful stonework, drainage, and a beautiful practice area for chipping and putting. Check him out online at atlturfco.com.
You need a pre-owned car or truck, but you don't need the headache of searching for one. Spending hours calling dealerships, then spending half the day filling out paperwork.
Come on.
You need the Honest Car Guy.
Hey, this is Tom from the Honest Car Guy. We help you buy your next pre-owned car or truck honestly. We guarantee each vehicle we sell will come with a copy of the bill of sale, showing what we paid for it. You pay what we pay, plus a disclosed fee. Guaranteed.
Get an honest car buy from the Honest Car Guy. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME-1 or visit honestcarguy.com.
The future of business in Georgia is bright, and Georgia Power is a driving force behind the businesses and organizations that are vital to the growth of the state. Organizations like Georgia Tech.
Jay, why don't you tell us about the Fanning Center, named after Southern Company CEO Tom Fanning?
It's an over $85 million project, fully funded by our donors and supporters of Georgia Tech Athletics. Certainly would be remiss without thanking Tom and all his generosity that made that building possible. It'll feature everything from a dedicated sports science center, which will make us best in class in motion capture, injury prevention, injury recovery. There's a huge focus on strength and conditioning and integration with sports technology. There's also space for sports medicine, recovery, mental health, which is a big focus for us in taking care of our student athletes, and then a big footprint for our football program, from offices to team spaces, meeting rooms, etc. That'll be best in class.
To learn more about how Georgia Power is helping businesses big and small, visit georgiapower.com and tune in all year to discover how they're powering the future of Georgia.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us, too, in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Americold Logistics LLC, Atlanta, Georgia, and any unanticipated locations throughout the U.S. seeks a network engineer, job code HC0425. Provide hands-on network engineering for enterprise network, including deployment projects and initiatives. Perform network design and development for future technology. Conduct troubleshooting and decision-making both with and without team support. Requires bachelor's or foreign degree equivalent in technology, electrical engineering, or related, and 5 years experience in the job or performing similar duties. 25% travel required, including weekends, overnight, and remotely. $118,186 to $134,951 per year. Email resume to Barbara Bishop at barbara.bishop@americold.com. Again, email resume to Barbara Bishop at barbara.bishop@americold.com.
It's the NRA Annual Meetings and Exhibits at the World Congress Center, April 25th to 27th. 14 acres of guns and gear from the most popular brands, political speakers, self-defense and firearm training seminars, a Saturday night concert featuring Big and Rich, NRA Youth Day, and much more. It's a freedom-filled weekend with something for everyone. Tickets just $10. NRA members get in free. Visit nratickets.com. That's nratickets.com. You don't want to miss this.
All right, I got now. I love gun shows.
If you ever get close to a human.
Oh, this is that weird feather girl. Bjork? No. Okay, well, whatever. 2003, a guy was arrested because he was making up a Bjork concert Or is it Bjork? I don't want to do her justice. Bjork. He was making up that there was a Bjork concert and then sold tickets. His name was Alex Conate. He sold the tickets that he said were worth $14,000. And he said, I'll give you a $14,000 ticket for $40. And he persuaded a San Diego nightclub owner that Bjork had agreed to play there. So he made all this money and then moved to Hawaii. Well, they caught him in Hawaii, so there you go. Anyway, I got Mr. Phone here. Hold on with that thing there. Our birthday list includes Adrian Brody. The actor is 52. King Kong. He was in Predators, and also I think he won the big award for The Pianist. Was that this? No, that was Holly Hunter's movie. Didn't she win and didn't say a word in that movie? And I think she won the Academy Award without saying a word, if I'm not mistaken.
He was in another one about World War II.
Little boy, was it a concentration camp or something? That was about. I think he was joking around, pretending to be a clown for his little boy, so he wouldn't know the horrors. In fact, that's one reason I didn't want to see that movie, was because I didn't want to have a little child going through horrors of the Holocaust and everything with that thing there for the daddy. Anyway, Adrian Brody's 52. Isn't he the one who? Who's that? David Justice, Halle Berry. When she won her award, didn't he put a big like French kiss on her when she got her award? Wasn't that the one?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. That was her. Yeah.
I don't know how he did it with that nose, but
I know. Well, sideways. You got to go sideways. Like the Steve Martin movie, Cyrano, or whatever it was. I forgot the name of the thing. Let's see. It's 354. Roxanne. There you go. And on this day in history, kind of a local tie-in here, if you don't mind, sir, for one moment. On this day in 1965, Stone Mountain Park is opened here in Georgia, the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's assassination. It depicts three Confederate figures, Jefferson Davis, Robert E. Lee, and Stonewall Jackson, riding their favorite horses, Blackjack, Traveler, and Little Sorrel. It's the largest bas relief in the world. The project began in 1914 by the United Daughters of the Confederacy, who hired Gutzon Borglum, the guy who built Mount Rushmore. They hired him to design the monument. He was initially instructed by the UDC, the United Daughters of the Confederacy, quote, I feel it is due to the Ku Klux Klan, which saved us from Negro dominations and carpetbag rule, that it be immortalized on Stone Mountain. Why not represent a small group of them in their knightly uniform approaching in the distance, unquote, which is the daughters wanted. However, I'm
glad they did.
Dear God. Can you imagine the carving on Stone Mountain
put a damper
of the Night Riders in their hoods and the Klan
with Elvis singing?
Oh
in the
my God! Yeah, and the night sky fireworks going on. Oh Lord!
The Night Riders come alive in the laser show and ride off the mountain.
Mercy. However, they eventually settled on a monument featuring Davis, Lee, and Jackson. Borglum completed Lee's head. He sculpted Robert E. Lee's head in 1924, but then he had disagreements with the organizers, and they fired him in 1925. A guy named Augustus Lukeman took his place, and Borglum's work was blasted off the mountain entirely, was gone. That was 1925. The Mint, U.S. Mint, issued a 1925 Stone Mountain commemorative silver $50 as a fundraiser to put it back, to redo the monument, raising a silver $50. It was the largest issue of commemorative coins the government had ever done. This is 1925. The park was open in 1965, but the carving wasn't done until 1972. That's when I came here. I don't remember that it was done the year I came here, 1972. I'd forgotten that it was that new.
It's always been there, it seems.
Yeah, it does. And again, if you haven't seen the light show, that was a fairly modern, newer attraction thing where they had it's still in. I haven't been there in decades. It's still an Elvis thing. They still do that, and
it's not safe anymore. We used to live right behind.
Does anybody go there? I mean,
oh yeah, I think it's still a thing.
Is it? Okay. Well, again, that's good. I don't know.
I can't tell you how many times I set out to go to Georgia State and ended up in that park for a good portion of the day.
Well, again, when you have those hot Georgia State chicks, they're just they're very needy, very grateful and needy. I love those girls. Anyway, by the way, a quick wrap up on the Bill Maher thing with Donald Trump. He said he said the weird part of the experience is when Bill Maher, after eating dinner and having fun with Donald Trump, he went home and watched 60 Minutes, and he said, "Oh my God, Donald Trump was ranting and screaming and shouting insults." I'm like, "Who's that guy? What happened to Glinda the Good Witch? Why can't we get that guy? I met that guy in public. He was great." I'm not saying it's our responsibility to do that. It's just reporting exactly what I saw in 2.5 hours. I went into the mine, and that's what's down there. A crazy person does not live in the White House. A person who plays a crazy person on TV a lot lives there, which I know is messed up, but it's not as messed up as I thought it was, and I have no illusions now that I'm back on my job that he might start a new list of insults anyway. But it was he had a hell of a time. 358. Flounders Funnies. What do you got? A little something there for
This
us?
annoyed me. I was on the phone with somebody today trying to get a phone number from that person and write it down, but they didn't have phone number rhythm, and that pissed me off. I'm talking about phone number rhythm, especially if there's like an area code involved, like 212 bum bum ba bum ba bum ba. That is the rhythm I think we're all familiar with. This guy had no clue. I was like, "Okay, Hank, give me the number." He's like, "All right, it's 2129." 15, 8, 11, 6, 4, 2, 5, 7. Did you throw in your zip code? Because I got a lot of extra numbers over here. I have extra. I can almost start a new number. What do you got? Start again from the top. They really screw you up on the last 4 numbers. That's where they get you. 555 6 41. Dude, I already wrote the 6.
Not 16. Who's that, Flounder? I forgot.
Mr. Kevin James.
There you go, Kevin James. Anyway. All right, coming up on 4 o'clock already. Holy smokes, what do you think? Kevin, Pete, and Flounder. How's your day going? It's been freaking 80s. It's in the 80s. And it's freezing in this studio. I got goosebumps every time. Look out, 4 o'clock.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. This hour is presented by Atlanta Safe House.
President Trump hosts a Central American leader. I'm Tom Regani, Fox News. President Trump hosting the president of El Salvador in the Oval Office, who's agreed to hold criminal illegal immigrants deported from the U.S. in a prison there.
Mr. President, it's an honor to have you. Thank you. You're doing incredibly for your country, and we appreciate working with you because you want to stop crime, and so do we.
The subject of Kilmar Abrego Garcia, the man mistakenly deported to El Salvador, was raised. Fox's Peter Ducey has more from the White House.
The Supreme Court wants the White House to help facilitate his return after that lower court ruled he was wrongfully deported. But it's not going to happen. White House officials say he was determined years ago to be a gang member, and the El Salvador president says releasing him doesn't make sense for either country, so he won't.
Of course, I'm not going to do it. It's like, the question is preposterous. How can I smuggle a terrorist into the United States? I don't have the power to return him to the United States.
The administration says 2 immigration courts have found Abrego Garcia was part of the MS-13 gang. China taking aggressive action both on trade and military fronts. Fox's Jennifer Griffin is at the Pentagon.
China announced this weekend it is suspending the sale of critical minerals to the United States in response to President Trump's trade war. China produces 90% of the world's rare earth minerals, which are needed for U.S. defense capabilities, weapons manufacturing, and aerospace, causing the Pentagon to take note. Earlier this month, China's military had ramped up exercises around Taiwan, military drills that included live fire, long-range strikes, and blockade operations that some believe foreshadow a future military invasion.
A U.S. Indo-Pacific Command Chief Admiral Samuel Paparo warned that China's increasingly aggressive actions near Taiwan are not just exercises, they are rehearsals at a Senate Armed Services Committee hearing last week. America's listening to Fox News.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
Slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
Oh, hold on. No, it's all good. We got just getting the thing here with the thing over here. Is Borch on the show?
No, this isn't Borch.
Isn't this Borch's music?
This is Rush's old song, but it's the Pretenders.
Oh, that's
who's
right.
in the music.
Oh my God. Well, I really not. I was just putting on my headset and I thought, oh, wait a minute now. Now, oh my God. I wonder if people knew where the Rush Limbaugh's theme came from. 1983, The Pretenders. And of course, you probably never heard the words to it unless you know the song. 1983, The Pretenders bass player Pete Farndon passed away from a drug overdose. He was fired from the group a year before, 2 days before. The Pretenders guitarist James Honeyman Scott was found dead of heart failure. Farndon was in the midst of forming a new band with a former The Clash drummer Topper Headon when he died. Good grief.
Yeah, so Chrissy Hyde's father was a big Rush fan.
Oh, is that what it was?
That's how this. I don't think she was a big conservative by any means, but she loved her father.
But she was with a Pretender. Chrissy Hyde, the Pretenders. This was I'll be darned. Well,
she was a liberal and still is.
I know nothing about her, but I would totally believe it.
She hated the fact that Rush used this.
Really? Well, get over it, honey. I mean, I don't like this theme. As a theme, I would never. This is, to me, is not. I don't like this theme at all. But it's Rush Limbaugh, so I like Rush Limbaugh. Let's see our birthday list. All right, P. Davis. Do I understand you have never seen the movie Cruel Intentions?
What is that?
Okay. The reason I mention it is because it was one of the movies featuring Sarah Michelle Gellar, our birthday girl I'm mentioning here in a moment. Sarah Michelle Gellar is 48 years old. And in the movie Cruel Intentions, she has a moment with Selma Blair. A little hottie, the little brunette, beautiful Selma Blair, one of the kind of Brat Pack type chick. She was in Legally Blonde, one of the girls in the Legally Blonde thing in front of her. So, and they have a kiss. They kiss, Sarah Michelle Gellar and Selma Blair. And Sarah Michelle Gellar is explaining what a French kiss is and how people kiss to Selma Blair. And I know you can say what you want, but I'm telling you, ladies, I know you think this is horrible and bad and everything else, and it probably is, but the fact of the matter is that is a very sensuous or sensual or both moment in filmography. It just is. Okay, on this day in history, 1912, 11:37 p.m., the unsinkable RMS Titanic hits an iceberg in the North Atlantic. It was her maiden voyage from Southampton, Britain to New York City. The unsinkable Titanic sank at 2:20 in the morning. There were 2,200 people on board, a little more, and about 1,500 died. There was only one Japanese passenger on the whole ship. His name was Masabumi Hosano. He survived, but he was ostracized for the rest of his life in Japan as dishonorable and a coward for not going down with a ship. And in Japan at that time, I'll bet you when they say he was ostracized as dishonorable and a coward, I'll bet he didn't have a person say a word to him, but probably had trouble finding something to eat. I don't know. I'm just saying. 407. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Oh, by the way, this is Monday on, is it Wednesday? What day we do this? Wednesday, right?
Yep, Wednesday.
We're going to Stovall. One of our sponsors, Stovall and Company, the landscaping wholesaler people, and they have this is a family business. Paul has got his two big burly sons running the joint for like 75 years, and they're a landscaping wholesale supply company, and they opened their 11th store on Union Hill Road in Canton. So we are going to be doing our show this Wednesday, this week, 2 days from now on Wednesday, and we'll be down there 3 to 6. Now, if you're a contractor, there's a free lunch at 11:30. So if you'd like to see what if you're a contractor and a builder and stuff like that, and you're putting in somebody's patio or deck or landscaping, and you need trees and shrubs and all that kind of stuff, and irrigation and water system, stuff like that, that's what Stovall supplies, and they're well known because it's a family company, so they kind of go the extra step to make they can get things done, and they do. And so there's a free contractors lunch at 11:30 on Wednesday. Again, this is the new store on Union Hill Road in Canton, and we'll be doing the show there this Wednesday, 3 to 6. So stop by and say howdy. It'll be fun. Let's see. So that'd be kind of cool. Well, it could be bad. Could be Kimmer Babe showing up all over the place. I mean, you never know. You might find if you're looking for a girlfriend, you might find your girlfriend at Stovall's Landscaping Wholesale Supplies. It's possible. All right, 404-741-1230.
Oh, yeah. I know her.
I think I do know her. And remember, ladies, I have that deck. You saw the fly catching video. I mean, I got to tell you, one-handed fly catcher.
Okay, how does that come in handy in the bed?
I'm just saying. I can still drive.
So you're quick. You're quick.
I can still drive.
Your selling point to women is that you're extremely
flexibility, dexterity. It's a big difference. Quickness has nothing to do with it. But seriously, and more bad guys are going to El Salvador. I mentioned Donald Trump hosting the El Salvador president today at the White House. He talked a lot about everything. And he's now revealed to us, too, that 11 more violent, illegal migrants, including gang-banging killers from Venezuela's gang, have now been deported from America to El Salvador over the weekend. So they're not only not bringing them back, they're sending more over there. So they just sent a pile more illegal immigrants, including gangbangers from Venezuela, deported to El Salvador. And as Donald Trump got ready to host the president of El Salvador today, and a link to the MS-13 gang as well. Also, hold on, there's another Donald Trump story here. Here we go. Donald Trump says homegrown Americans are next to go to El Salvador. During his meeting with the El Salvador president today, he said sending American citizens to El Salvador means, after his conversation, you're going to have to build 5 more prisons. Homegrowns are next, baby. The homegrowns, you got to build about 5 more places, Donald Trump said, because the one you got there is not big enough, and that damn thing holds, 40,000 or something ridiculous. Anyway, so Donald Trump says he's thinking about ways to send hardened criminals out of America. And migrant gangbangers have already been removed. That means there are going to be a lot more. Homegrown criminals, I have no problem setting them to. Could you imagine being some local gangbanger, from some hood gang in Los Angeles or something, and all of a sudden you're going to prison in El Salvador? It's yowie. Talk about a deterrent, maybe. Maybe not. Anyway, 410, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Also... Donald Trump did get upset, and Bill Maher was wondering how Donald Trump got so upset watching 60 Minutes after Bill Maher had dinner with him the last weekend. And Donald Trump on Truth Social posted after the 60 Minutes broadcast this weekend that 60 Minutes and CBS should be in for maximum fines and punishment. And its corporate parent Paramount should be sued as well. The show's interview with then Vice President Carmela's side piece last year, and now Donald Trump suing the company over that, railing against the 2 reports over the weekend Sunday night on Greenland and the war in Ukraine. Donald Trump posted, they're not a news show, but by a dishonest political operative simply disguised as news. They must be responsible for what they've done and are doing. They should lose their license. And Donald Trump urged the chairman of the FCC to deliver substantial penalties to the network for unlawful and illegal behavior. Trump says CBS is out of control at levels never seen before. They should pay a big price for this. The Ukraine segment featured an interview with Zelensky by Scott Pelley. He's a pimp. Scott Pelley noted that Donald Trump, this is what they do. This is, remember when the stock market went down for an hour and then zoomed back up, suspected child molester Chuck Schumer had already said, it's a Trump slump. Trump said he's going to fix the economy and the price of eggs going crazy. Remember that? Every time one bad thing happens, they go crazy. Well, here's how Scott Pelley would, again, to try to slant the news to make it as worse as possible. Scott Pelley said, Donald Trump promised to end the war in Ukraine immediately, but before even taking office, that did not happen. And so he said, to Zelensky, what about Trump's false claim that Ukraine started the war and that Zelensky's a dictator? And Zelensky says, I believe, sadly, that Russian narratives are prevailing in America. So Trump went nuts over that. And again, for Scott Pelley to say, well, Donald Trump said he was going to solve the war, but he didn't do it. I mean, you smarmy little pimp. I mean, you're just such a greasy little stain. I mean, seriously, what kind of a weaselly little pansy little way to put something is that?
And they still think they matter.
God. I mean, and then the other one, he said, talking about Greenland and the autonomous Danish territory. The president insisted should become part of the United States. Greenlanders on 60 Minutes give Donald Trump a frosty reception. In his joint session before Congress, an elder Inuit statesman said the U.S. would get Greenland one way or the other was ugly. We all noticed that in Greenland, all of us. Anyway, and Donald Trump says, falsely claiming inaccurately that, the Greenland, we're going to go take it and stuff by our... I mean, it's just one thing after another. And Trump's really getting fed up with it, now wants the FCC to investigate. Well, the FCC doesn't have much to do with networks. FCC, in fact, FCC has taken away a lot of its own power. In fact, used to be, in fact, I forgot, I think you did, Pete Davis, did you have to take an FCC license test before you could broadcast in radio?
Yeah, back in college.
The third-class college? The third-class license ticket? And by the engineers, I think they probably still have. Well, I don't know if they... in fact, I'll bet they do not have to. But it used to be that if you were in the radio... When my first job in radio, I had to take a third-class radio telephone operator's license test by the FCC. And if you didn't pass it, you couldn't work in radio and you couldn't sign the logs. And back then, the broadcasters... My first job was a daytime radio station, and I'd go in the morning and sign it on the Saturday, Sunday, and work there and then sign it off at night if I was there closing it down at dusk. And you had to sign off. You had to take readings of the meters, actually physically take readings and write it down on a log while you're doing the show. I mean, you have to during.
Yeah, I had to do that.
Did you have to do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, well, I think those things are probably a lot less mandatory than they have been many years ago.
Across the street at Weesuck and Belitha, when I was there, I had to do that.
Yeah, but again, you used to have to take a license, a test to get a license, and it was not easy. You had to know it. You had to study and know it, or you weren't going to pass. Now, the engineers had to take a huge first-class ticket, which is to prove you're an engineer. So, I mean, electrical engineer, that's a whole other thing. All right, 4:15. God, it blew the whole segment. Coming up, this idiot Taylor Lorenz, man. And again, I would pass by even mentioning it, but it's important because people like this are still out there, including the latest on... did you hear about the woke guy at Ford Company on an airline flight? With the people watching Fox News on their TV screen at their seat. Holy cow. All the wokeness is coming up more and more. You'll get it all. 4:15, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder right here, too. Look out.
Time for the Bortz Report, brought to you by Southern Exteriors, the Southeast premier home exterior solution. Quality and precision you can rely on for over 20 years. Visit southernexteriors.co.
Okay, a short attention span commentary. Bits that I just picked up over the weekend. First, a meeting between American and Iranian officials. We'll learn later how that meeting went, but it's obvious to a lot of people if Iran doesn't give Trump what he wants, Trump is ready to take military action against Iran. That's why we have B-2s and bunker-busting bombs over there right now. Next, a fact check on soda like Coca-Cola and Pepsi. Sugary drinks account for 10%, $113 billion in food stamp spending, and might be worth over 20% of Coca-Cola's total revenue. Internet and TikTok influencers, you know the type. Thankfully, they're on their way out. There are private studios out there that influencers pay about $60 to rent to create positive illusions of private jet travel. A survey conducted in 2023 found that 56% of Gen Zers, that's people born in the late 1990s up till about 2015, 56% of them intend to pursue influencing as their life career. While we're talking percentages, 26% of Americans still believe that they are going to retire on lottery winnings. That killer that was released from Clayton County jails, caught in Florida, the newspaper tells us that he was released because the people in the jail didn't read the paperwork carefully. Come on, we're talking about Clayton County government employees. It's not that they didn't read the paperwork correctly. The fact is they couldn't. Georgia government schools, government workers, do the math. More later. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
Tax refund season is here, so now's the time to invest in your home. For over 25 years, homeowners have trusted Southern Exteriors for expert craftsmanship and lasting value. James Hardy Fiber Cement Siding delivers unmatched durability, stunning design options, and superior protection for your home. Right now, take advantage of 0% financing for 12 months or 10% off any project. Don't wait. Upgrade your home with the #1 name in siding. Schedule your free estimate today at southernexteriors.co.
You know, I was thinking, I really feel a lot better about when my daughter Jennifer was visiting, and now she knows where the important stuff is, again, because of Atlanta Safe House. Man, I learned a lesson the hard way when I retired, went to Florida, didn't have a safe down there. I had 2 in Atlanta Safe House safes. In fact, I gave one to my former producer years ago. Anyway, long story. I had to keep my stuff in, but I retired to Florida, didn't have a safe, lost stuff, medical records, boom, bam, VA says, don't talk to us anymore. Anyway, so, I mean, I learned a lesson the hard way, but now, you know, your kids, your family, your friends, whoever, wife, husband, should know where your stuff is. Medical records, financial records, leases and deals and business things, and where your money is and stuff you want to save. Birth certificates, are those laying around somewhere? You know what the deal is. Thieves are one thing, but Atlanta Safe House, they protect you from stuff. In fact, their showroom in Aqua, they have almost 200 safes right there ready to go, and they can redesign the inside any way you want for nooks and crannies and that kind of stuff. Don't forget, no sales tax on gun safes at Atlanta Safe House. Jeff and Mark and these guys protecting your rights. And by the way, they can also rent you a safe if you're doing something or maybe gone for the summer or have a convention or an event or something coming up. They can rent you a safe. They can fix your safes, repair your safes, and change your master reset code, anything you want. Protecting your rights and your stuff. AtlantaSafeHouse.com.
Attention Warriors, are you a veteran ready to navigate to success after service? Tune in to the Warrior Alliance Network. Join us as we spotlight inspiring stories, provide essential resources, and connect you with a community dedicated to empowering veterans. From career advice to health and wellness tips, the Warrior Alliance Network is your go-to hub for post-service success. Tune in Saturday mornings at 11 a.m. on Extra 106.3. Join us on the mission, the Warrior Alliance Network, where warriors thrive together. Visit us at thewarrioralliance.org for more information.
You know the old expression, I love it when a plan comes together? Well, with our First Liberty Notes, this has been so true. Hello, I'm Brant Frost, founder of First Liberty Building and Loan. You hear about our family's company all the time right here on this station. For over 30 years, we've been the local lender who said yes when the big banks say no. A couple of months ago, we opened up our First Liberty Notes program to Main Street investors just like you, and the response has been just incredible. Folks from airline pilots to physicians to even pastors are now earning 8 to 13% interest rates while helping to fuel the growth of local small businesses. If you're a qualified investor with a minimum of $25,000, you too could be earning 8 to 13% interest. We'd love to have you join our First Liberty family today. Go to firstlibertyga.com and see if our First Liberty Notes are right for you. Go to firstlibertyga.com. That's firstlibertyga.com.
First Liberty Notes are not obligations of or guaranteed by any financial institution and are not secured by any collateral. They are not FDIC insured or guaranteed by any government agency. You could lose money. SEC accredited investor status must be verified. Securities not offered in any jurisdiction in which it is unlawful.
Hey, homeowners, it's Flounder, and I'm here to keep you warm. Well, I won't, but my friends at Dobbs Heating and Air will. As a new homeowner myself, I prefer working with local, family-owned companies who value what matters to me and treats my home like it's their own. The Dobbs family have a passion for what they do, and taking care of people is their primary goal. So if your home needs help staying warm right now, call Dobbs Heating and Air and experience the Dobbs difference. And check them out online at dobbshvac.com.
Hey, Georgia neighbors, it's time to expect more from your Medicare Advance advantage. Discover Sonder Health's custom plans tailored just for Georgians. Saunders offers unique benefits, including special plans for those living with chronic conditions. Some plans even come with grocery or gas benefits to support your overall well-being. Sonder Health makes it easy to get the coverage you need. See for yourself what today's Medicare Advantage can do for you. Visit SonderHealthPlans.com, a healthier state of life. Sonder Health Plans is an HMO and PPO with Medicare contracts. Enrollment in Sonder Health Plans depends on contract renewal.
Gretchen Whitmer's talking about her 2-year-old behavior. Have that story for you in a second here. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, how's it going? 422 in Joy Division. I don't really know much about this group, but in 1978, Joy Division played at the Stiff Test Chiswick Challenge at Rafters in Manchester, England. I don't know what that is. Stiff Test Chiswick Challenge. Future managers Rob Gretton and journalist Tony Wilson saw the band Joy Division for the first time in 1978. Now, are they known? Flounder, are they?
We've talked about it a few times. They were a English punk band that would have been very good, but the night before their first U.S. tour, their lead singer committed suicide.
Oh, that's right.
And they became the band New Order.
Oh, I remember you told. Oh, my goodness. Wow, what a start. Zowie. Yeah, okay, no. Let's see. Our birthday list includes Rob McElhenney. He's 48. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I watched that show like the first few, and then something happened. I don't know why I stopped watching it. It was pretty amusing. It had a real cute little blonde chick in there. That was a Danny DeVito show, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway, and on this day in history, I got an update on Gretchen. On this day in history, hold on a second here.
Actually, Danny DeVito was originally not written into that script, but the producers and the people who funded it said, you need to get a name if you guys want this to really go forward.
Yeah.
And so they got Danny DeVito, and he stuck with it the whole time.
Yeah. I remember being, it was like an adult comedy thing, and I remember being impressed by it, and then for some reason I stopped watching. I don't know why. Who knows what I'm doing. On this day in history, Fort Sumter, the first casualty of the Civil War. I find this hard to believe. Check that. I did not know this either. On this day in 1861, a Union soldier is killed by a gun explosion when Union soldiers were trying to fire a 100-gun salute to the flag before the Union surrendered Fort Sumter. Before they surrendered the fort, a 100-gun salute. Daniel Huff was loading round number 47 when a spark caused the gun to explode and killed him instantly. The salute was then cut short after 50 rounds. Another soldier died 5 days later of his wounds from the explosion. There had been no other soldiers on either side killed in the Battle of Fort Sumter until they loaded the canyon to give up the fort, and that's what killed 2 of them. That's unbelievable. I mean, good, but still, wow. I mean, I had no idea. Anyway. Okay, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Hold everything. It's 425. We got Pete Davis. We got Flounder. We got Funnies. We got Holy Crap at Sports. We got Flounder's Funnies. And we got Mo and my example of the Masters debacle. But first, we got Pete. We got Pete's Tweets.
Do you order delivery food often?
I don't. I have, and I haven't in a long time, many long time, years, yeah.
Well, if you start again, you can add another beloved restaurant to your late-night munchy addiction.
Who's this? What do you got now?
Waffle House is aligning with delivery service Olo to bring you Waffle House goodness 24 hours a day, hopefully.
Well, how could they keep that warm or hot? How could you get waffles that would show up in any kind of condition to eat after a trip from them to the store, to the house?
They keep the pizzas warm, don't they?
Well,
they keep the Chinese hot.
I'm just asking. I'm just saying. I mean, God bless them. I love the idea.
The worst thing you can do for pizza is put it in a box.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, what are you supposed to do with it?
Well, it's just, I guess
eat it at the location.
Yeah, there you go. Well, again, so Waffle House. Wow, that's a big undertaking. I mean, that's they must be hiring extra staff or something to take that into consideration.
Well, we'll see.
Wow.
Mike, the engineer, sent this just for Flounder.
All right, sir.
50% of being a new homeowner is hearing mysterious noises and praying that they are actually ghosts And not just another problem you need to spend money on.
Yeah. In fact, you'll learn at my starting this morning, I now have a construction crew tearing down my deck. It's not mine. I'm renting in my house. My townhouse. Tearing down the deck and putting up a whole brand new one. So for the week, I'm parking somewhere else where I can find a spot in the neighborhood and walking to my place and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, here we go. That's our fun. Yeah.
Guess what classic national fast food restaurant is making a comeback in Ohio?
In Ohio, Friendly's.
No, Friendly's is everywhere. What are you talking about?
Well, I don't know. I mean, because they've kind of disappeared.
This is one that's disappeared. I mean, it's disappeared. I haven't thought of
Bob's Big Boy? Bob's Big Boy, for example?
Before that, older than that.
Houston's? No.
Shoney's, I remember that.
Shoney's
No. Arthur Treacher's Fish and Chips.
Oh, my God. Oh, that used to be a great... Oh, man. They had those little round things. What are those round ball things they called?
Hush Puppies?
Hush Puppies. They had great Hush Puppies at Arthur Treacher's, as I remember.
You can get Hush Puppies.
I'm just saying, that's what I remember. And they had good fried fish. I don't like fried fish, but if you're in the mood for a little fried fish sandwich or something, you couldn't go wrong. Anyway, yes, sir.
I'm telling you, there was one at Glenwood and Columbia Drive. Now, we played right down Little League, right down the street at Glenwood Hills, which is really no longer there. If we won, we got to go to McDonald's. If we lost, we had to eat Mom's favorite, which was Arthur Treacher's Fish and Chips. Or H. Saltfish, which I think replaced it.
Oh, I remember them very briefly, yeah. I'll be darned.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Now I miss Long John Silver's. Everywhere you go, there's Captain D's, but no more Long John Silver's.
Yeah, Long John Silver's. I remember all that stuff. Anyway, well, 428, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. And just in now, let me read this right off of the wire here. Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer regrets hiding from photographers while in the Oval Office with Donald Trump. She said she was a little old to play peekaboo with the White House. She admitted today she made a mistake trying to hide from photographers who came into the Oval Office where she was meeting with Donald Trump last week. You asked me what was going on in my mind at that moment. She said during her appearance today, when asked why she held up two blue folders as they snapped away pictures, it was, I don't want my picture taken. That's all it was. I kind of wish I hadn't put my folder up in front of my face, but whatever. We all have our moments. Whitmer has been a model, touted, I guess. This says mooted here.
Touted, too.
It says, I swear to God, it says, Whitmer 53 has been mooted, M-O-O-T-E-D, mooted, as a potential contender for the presidential thing here, but roundly mocked over her awkward moment in the Oval Office. She was in Washington, remarks about the national strategy for manufacturing. Excuse me. She thought she was going to meet with Donald Trump privately, but when she got into the Oval Office and the whole crowd, he was signing executive orders, and so she tried to hide her face with her folders. And plus, Donald Trump said, she's a good person, really done a good job. And she said, it's not where I wanted to be or planned to be or would have liked to have been. I disagree with a lot of stuff and said the actions were taken, but I stayed in the room because I need to make the case for Michigan, and that's my job. Anyway, so now Gretchen Whitmer's had to explain it. And there are I've heard people actually say that she may have just ruined her chances of ever becoming, of ever another woman running for president. Do you think, can you think of a woman now, and of course it's a long way to go, but do you think that what's happened in the last election will affect whether another female even wants to try to run for president for a while yet?
From the Democratic side?
Yeah, any side, but especially Democratic side.
No, they want it so badly they won't care. They'll just run anyway.
Well, I will see.
And if the Democratic Party is smart and heads more centrist, like Bill Maher is trying to get them to do, what Whitmer's trying to do by showing up with Trump, they might have a better chance. But if they stay liberal,
I can't wait to see the explosion. California Governor Newsom trying to be in the middle of the road thing, and they're going to eat them all alive. This is going to be great. 431, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. How's it going? Happy Monday. Join us, 404-741-1230. And I got Holy Crap at Sports and Pete's tweets. We got Flounder's funnies, and not everything is a thing. Here we go.
miss any of the show? No sweat. Grab your Extra 106.3 app and listen to show replays whenever you want. Download the Extra app now for Apple and Android by searching for XTRA 106.3.
You know, I can't stop thinking about that guy almost creamed me into a median strip doing 80 miles an hour now when I went to see my family on my holy moly. And again, there's so many weird, crazy things going out there on the highways. David Van Sant's a number of a law firm you should have in your phone, because if there's a wreck or something happens, or, you know, an issue with an insurance company, we love insurance companies, but David Van Sant Law used to work for the insurance companies. And we know that they have their charts and their tables and their graphs and all this stuff, but not every car is the same, not every policy is the same, and not every place is the same when they want to fix your stuff. So instead of you arguing, when they see David Van Sant's name pop up on their phone screen, chances are they say they're going to have to pay more than they wanted, because David Van Sant tends to make them pay more than they like at all. And again, the reason is, if you don't get paid, he doesn't get paid. So he's in it for you, number one. Complications all over the place for insurance policies. Let him take care of it for you. Whether it's a little dental thing or you need a new rental or a car, whatever, and you're not sure about the policy, David will work it out for you. Here's a number, 855-GA-INJURY. Online, vansantlaw.com.
This is Tom with the Honest Car Guy.
Hey, what's with all this honesty stuff?
We help you buy your next pre-owned car or truck honestly.
How honestly?
We guarantee that each vehicle we sell will come with a bill of sale showing what we paid for the vehicle. You'll pay what we pay, plus our disclosed fee, guaranteed.
No gimmicks or tricks?
Nope.
Man, this sounds like a new way to buy a car.
Get an honest car buy from the Honest Car Guy. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME-1, or visit honestcarguy.com.
Hi, I'm Chris Lalamia, owner of the Trusted Toolbox. Are home repairs piling up? Are you feeling overwhelmed? Relax. We've got you covered. From drywall dings and leaky faucets to deck repairs and trim replacement, we're your one-stop shop for everything for your home needs. No more juggling multiple contractors. Just call us at the Trusted Toolbox and we'll handle it. Your home deserves the best, and we don't want you breaking your back trying. Call the Trusted Toolbox today at 770-623-3097 or visit us at thetrustedtoolbox.com. The Trusted Toolbox, your one-stop shop for home repairs and more.
Spring has sprung at Truist Park. Grab your crew and come out to enjoy the spring weather and watch your Atlanta Braves as the Minnesota Twins come to town April 18th through the 20th. The weekend includes live music from the Braves house band Party Nation before the game on Friday on the Plaza Green, and of course, Friday night fireworks presented by the Georgia Lottery after the game. Then on Sunday, it's all about the kids with the Blooper Mascot Security T-shirt giveaway for the first 3,000 kids through the gates.
Fly ball to deep right. That's way back and gone. Home run, Ozuna.
And the homestand continues with the St. Louis Cardinals on April 21st through the 23rd. On April 22nd, the first 15,000 fans will receive the Chipper Jones 2000 All-Star Game bobblehead presented by SeatGeek, commemorating his participation during the 2000 All-Star Game in Atlanta. Visit Braves.com/promos to check out all the fun and purchase your tickets today. Atlanta Braves Baseball, we are Braves country.
9/11 is more than a day in history. It is a day that is still taking lives. We remember the 2,977 people lost on 9/11, including many first responders. Yet even more first responders have died since that day from related illnesses than on that day. Shamefully, we have a whole new generation of kids who still know little to nothing about that day. Tunnel to Towers 9/11 Institute, it's righting this wrong by helping teachers educate kids in grades K through 12 with nonfiction resources. Full curriculum units with scripted lessons, activities, background for teachers, nonfiction, first-person accounts told through videos, and the Discovering Heroes book series. A 9/11 Speakers Bureau for classrooms if they want it. A mobile exhibit that has an interactive museum with 9/11 artifacts and guides who experienced that day firsthand as firefighters in New York City. To never forget, we have to educate future generations. Help our generation keep its vow. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org. That's T2T.org.
It's the NRA Annual Meetings and Exhibits at the World Congress Center, April 25th to 27th. 14 acres of guns and gear. A freedom-filled weekend with activities for the entire family. Tickets just $10. NRA members get in free. Visit NRAtickets.com.
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's a Kimmer. How's it going? Here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
Let me remind you, this whole thing about portraying conservatives as fascists started with the Communist Party USA memo in 1943. Call conservatives fascist. One thing these leftists are good at, taking orders.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
Stand by now.
We used to ride, baby. Ride around in limousine.
1975, a lot of rumors going around about the Stones. Rumors were that Jimmy Page, Jeff Beck, Steve Marriott, or Chris Spedding would replace Mick Taylor as guitar player for the Rolling Stones. A press release on this day in 1975 confirmed it would be Ronnie Wood joining the band for their forthcoming American tour, the Stones, in 1975. And let's see, 437, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. On this day in history, 1918. 6 days after being assigned for the first time to the Western Front, 2 American pilots from the U.S. 1st Aero Squadron engage in America's first aerial dogfight with the enemy aircraft. The battle fought almost directly over the Allied squadron aerodrome at Toul, France. U.S. flyers Douglas Campbell and Alan Winslow succeeded in shooting down 2 German two-seaters. By the end of May, Campbell had shot down 5 enemy aircraft, making him the first American to qualify as a flying ace in World War I. The 1st Aero Squadron, organized in 1914 after the outbreak of World War I. First combat mission, March 19, 1917, support of 7,000 troops invading Mexico to capture Pancho Villa. Despite a lot of mechanical and navigational trouble, the American flyers flew hundreds of scouting missions for the U.S. Brigadier General John Pershing and gained important experience that would later be used over the battlefields of Europe in World War I. And on this day in 1918, we got our first American World War I flying ace. 439, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 4 o'clock hour, brought to you by our friends Atlanta Safe House, home of the Kimmer Safe. Silly. You need a safe. You may not know it, but it's true. It's true. And so get yourself. Atlanta Safe House, they have a showroom in Ackworth. They can rent you a safe and fix your safe and all that kind of stuff. Let's see, a couple things. Oh, let's do this. Let's do this weird Taylor Lorenz. I almost hate giving this woman any kind of publicity, certainly not credit, but it goes to show what the hell the media is doing. And again, CNN ought to be ashamed. Here's what happened. The woman's name is Taylor Lorenz. She is a former Washington Post reporter, very controversial. She's kind of a freak. She says outrageous things all the time. And she's kind of the white version of Jasmine Crockett, I think, in ways, or I don't know, that's kind of weird. Anyway, she was now defending the murderer of the United Healthcare CEO. Luigi Mangione is the suspected killer, the well-known assassin. And she was with the misinformation host Donnie O'Sullivan on CNN talking about Mangione, the killer's appeal to people, especially women. Mangione, the killer, has been something of a folk hero to the far left after arrested for murdering Brian Thompson, a family man, by the way. Some viewing it as a comeuppance for the greedy insurance industry. So Taylor Lorenz says, here's this man who's a revolutionary, who's famous, who's handsome, who's young, who's smart. He's a person who seems like he's this morally good man, which is hard to find. And then O'Sullivan jokingly said, oh, yeah, I just realized women will literally date an assassin before they swipe right on me, boy. That's where we're at right now. And people wonder why we want these executives dead. Oh, golly. Well, some of the reaction, airing CNN this heinous defense of people who admire Mangione, celebrating a fiery, peaceful assassination of a husband and father. This is a doughy CNN correspondent nodding approvingly when a psychopath asserts it's fine to support cold-blooded murder for political reasons. This is CNN. The only thing more embarrassing to me, Taylor Lorenz is citing. Well, in fact, do we have that soundbite? I'm sorry, Flounder. I think we have that. You got that soundbite. Here's how that thing went. I'm sorry.
So you're going to see women, especially, that feel like, oh my God, right? Like, here's this man who's a revolutionary, who's famous, who's handsome, who's young, who's smart. He's a person that seems this morally good man, which is hard to find.
Yeah. During a clip, she said she called out the mainstream media for clutching their pearls and pushing an out-of-touch narrative. It's hilarious to see these millionaire media pundits with their clutching pearls and someone standing a murderer was in the United States of America like we don't lionize criminals. Yeah. And by the way, what does stand, S-T-A-N, mean? As if we don't stand murderers of all sorts. We give them Netflix shows. Someone standing a murderer when this is the United States. What the hell is that? Have you ever used that phrase? I've never heard that phrase. To stand.
No, because I'm educated, and I'm sorry. I know the English language a little bit.
And by the freaking left. In fact, tell me what you think about this. I have a reaction I think is different from a lot of others. Apparently, a guy who works for Ford Motor Company, their chief learning officer is Barrett Evans. He was on an airplane flight recently and put the following on social media. He was describing how he was noticing an elderly plane passenger who during the flight was watching Fox News on her screen, on her seat screen, I guess. So I went on LinkedIn and had a lengthy story, and he said, elderly passenger on my flight from San Diego enjoyed Fox News for the entire ride. Deplaning, and I noticed he and his wife getting into their airport wheelchairs to be pushed to the next gate. My filter was malfunctioning, so he said, quote, love to see you supporting DEI. And the girl said, not me. And he says, yes, you. That wheelchair, and this is the Ford executive saying, that wheelchair and the human pushing it are provided at no direct cost to you, rather by a subsidized cost attributed to every passenger in this airport, provided to level the playing field for you. He said, not all passengers need assistance, but for those who do, for whatever reason, the service ensures they can access the airport, navigate security, and board their plane safely and with dignity. The cost being shared ensures that the service is available to those who need it, not just those who could afford to pay extra. This is a real-world infrastructure of equity in action. Different people have different needs, and creating systems to support those differences fairly. Unquote. Oh, please. First of all, mind your own stinking freaking business. And what kind of balls do you have to complain about anybody using a wheelchair like my daughter does when she takes an airplane flight like she just did, by the way? And secondly, DEI's got nothing to do with who's pushing the wheelchair. In fact, I'll bet you that if it was DEI, that they eliminated some guy who was more qualified to get someone who wasn't more qualified to make it even for when he lost a job before for some reason. That's got nothing to do with the service available.
What you have is a gay man who decided to bully two elderly passengers because he couldn't censor their free speech on the plane, so he decided just to berate them. Yeah. He's a bully.
He's got his boyfriend. He and his boyfriend, his lover, are holding hands or holding, hugging each other. I'm telling you, if he had come up to me and my wife,
if I'd heard him say that to those people,
mother,
there'd have been trouble. There would have been trouble. You got to stand up to bullies.
I'd have been in the holding cell at the airport. Seriously.
It's for the longest time, it was okay to bully gay people, and now that gay people seem to have the upper hand, it's like it's perfectly okay to bully someone else that's weaker than you now. So the end of bullying is more bullying? That's how you stop it?
And by the way, gay people, everybody I know supports gay rights. Nobody I know has a problem with gay people. Nobody gives a crap about that. Especially in this, I've been working in this business 60 years. Half the people I know, it just doesn't matter. So how about, this big time bully Ford executive, how about showing your balls and standing up for things like tranny and fake people doing stuff like that in the name of God knows what, gender issues and tranny issues? That's, how can, where's the gay community? Where's the female community? Where's the hetero women community? Where's the gay community standing up for this stuff?
Where's AARP coming to the defense of the AARP is pretty much useless unless it's a leftist cause, and then they get all behind it.
That's right. That's right. And again, DEI, hiring somebody because, it's got nothing to do with who was pushing the wheelchair. He was saying that the service is good for you. The service has nothing to do with how they discriminated against somebody else to hire a black guy particularly to push it. Somebody's going to push the chair. It doesn't matter who hired him unless it's you. I mean, it's unbelievable. Again, it doesn't even make any sense. And yet he attacked an elderly couple in wheelchair at the airport. You freaking punk. Oh, hi,
some kind of funny breaking news.
Oh, excellent.
So Ohio State is at the White House.
Uh-oh.
And they were doing, President Trump was there, J.D. Vance, everyone. And J.D. Vance dropped the trophy.
Oh! Didn't break it?
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh, it's
just the base kind of fell off. So, Jenga.
The crystal.
Yeah. Oh, no.
It's been dropped before. Yeah, it's been dropped.
Lord. Didn't they drop it? Remember the hockey tournament? He dropped it on the road in front of the steam cleaner or something. I ran over it. All right, 447, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. How's your Monday? Look out.
Neil Bortz is only live on Extra 106.3, bringing you daily commentary on the biggest topics of the day. Catch him throughout the day or hear his latest on the Extra 106.3 app.
It's front office lows for Howard Brothers and Cub Cadet. April in Georgia means the grass is growing fast, and it's mowing time with Cub Cadet. From zero turn to lawn tractors, Cub Cadet mowers are built for power, precision, and comfort, so you can tackle your yard with ease. It's the top pick for homeowners when they want the perfect cut every time. Let's not fall behind this season. Visit your local Howard Brothers today and get your Cub Cadet mower ready for the season. The grass is always greener when you take care of it with Cub Cadet and Howard Brothers.
I enjoy a good night's sleep, and I like to breathe while I'm sleeping. My wife appreciates that, too. That's why I wear a CPAP. You want the right machine. You want expert advice. You want all the supplies that go with it. You get it all at CPAPs, etc. in Alpharetta. Machines, masks, tubing, filters, cleaning supplies, all of it, and they ship nationwide. Walk-ins, by the way, are welcome. CPAPs, etc. Alpharetta, CPAPSETC.com.
Hey, it's a Kimmer. You know, a great smile can make you more successful as well as make you happy. Yes, it's true. And your smile's waiting for you at my dentist, Dr. Dina Giesler, my friend for 30 years and dentist forever. This woman at Atlanta Smiles, AtlantaSmiles.com, the dentist with a doggy. It's really true, whether it's just regular cleaning or bridges or crowns or are your teeth bothering a little bit, maybe a little ache or something, or your gums it's not going to get better on its own. Take it from me, I found that out the hard way. Taking care of your teeth and gums, and everybody's happy. And by the way, you can relax with Dr. Dina. This is an individual, private VIP experience. The latest technology. She used AI to get my last thing done at my last visit. And don't forget the doggy. She's a little doggy to take a nap in your lap while you're getting your work done. And this staff, these ladies are angels, I promise you. You'll love going there. A veteran herself, Dr. Dina, 10% veterans discount off the top. Tell them when you call. 404-262-7733. Your smile's waiting. Get the doggy, AtlantaSmiles.com.
Have you thought about securing your hard-earned assets? Do you have concerns about the future? Protecting assets is crucial, and that's where Nelson Elder Care Law excels. As a family-owned and family-focused firm, we provide absolute assurance and peace of mind through our trademarked Absolute Protection Trust, tailored services in estate planning, probate administration, Medicaid crisis solutions, guardianship, and conservatorship. Our goal is to exceed your expectations and empower informed decisions. Visit NelsonElderCareLaw.com for asset protection and peace of mind.
Atlanta Braves fans, May is Military Appreciation Month, and a great time to show your patriotism by purchasing a VIP table at the Warrior Alliance 4th Annual Veteran Impact Awards and Gala. The event will be held on Thursday, May 22nd at the Coca-Cola Roxy Theater at the Battery, Atlanta, and features dining, live entertainment, and Georgia-based veterans being honored for the significant contributions they are making in our communities. Purchase your VIP table today or make a donation at thewarrioralliance.org.
Hey, this is Matt from East Cobb. We basically bought our house from our in-laws. It was my wife's childhood home. One of the issues that we've had when we first moved in was our dog in our backyard. It was extremely shaded, could never grow grass back there. We resodded it twice. So ATL Turf Co. did an amazing job with our backyard transformation. They basically created a miniature golf hole. We have a miniature fairway. We also have a miniature little putting green. Consists of about 4 holes, total about 40 yards, so you can definitely work on your short game and your putting After that transformation that ATL Turf Co. did for us, my father-in-law came and saw his house the way it looked after the fact of we had a putting green and a miniature golf course. Sure enough, he did the same thing with ATL Turf Co. He has a beautiful backyard, wonderful stonework, drainage, and a beautiful practice area for chipping and putting. Check him out online at atlturfco.com.
If you're thinking about a new Chevy, don't wait. Now's the time. Head to Jim Ellis Chevrolet where the price is right now.
Lock in your lowest price today before prices start to rise due to new tariffs. Shop early while inventory is strong. Right now, Jim Ellis Chevrolet has more than 400 vehicles in stock on the ground, ready to take home today. That includes the legendary Silverado, family-friendly SUVs like the Equinox, Tahoe, and Suburban, one of the largest Corvette selections in the metro Atlanta area. And if you're shopping pre-owned, you'll find a great selection of certified vehicles too, thoroughly inspected and ready to roll.
At Jim Ellis Chevrolet, you'll find exactly what you want, but don't wait too long. Get yours today before prices go up and vehicle selection goes down. No pressure, no games, just a transparent customer-first experience that makes buying easy.
And after the sale, Jim Ellis Chevrolet is still with you thanks to factory-trained technicians who will keep your Chevy running strong. For the latest offers, stop by their showroom on Peachtree Industrial Boulevard, just inside the perimeter.
Or shop anytime at JimEllisChevrolet.com. Jim Ellis Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
We got a game coming up later. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. 4:52. Here we go.
Trying to get to Holland or France.
Who was John Lennon here?
The man in the Mac says you've got to go back. You know they didn't even give us a chance. Christ, you know it ain't easy.
Oh, boy. He said a word in there.
You know how hard it can be.
1969, the recording of the Ballad of John and Yoko took place with just two Beatles, Paul McCartney and John Lennon. Paul played bass, drums, and piano, John on guitars and lead vocal. The song was banned from many radio stations for being blasphemous. On some stations, the C word we just heard was edited in backwards to avoid the ban. Again, it's 1969. And again, I don't mind, repeating the story. When I came here in 1972, worked for a famous radio station, had a famous morning show, and they would play the song One Toke Over the Line, but they could never say the word toke. They would say, and now one over the line with so-and-so, and play the song. So that's how they got away with it. And they would not play Bridge Over Troubled Waters because it talked about, it said hooker, or what did it say, prostitute, or no, whore, with a horse down 7th Avenue. They wouldn't play that one, even though it was a huge hit. Okay, also on this day in history, a little birth date here, I think, too. Brad Garrett. Brad Garrett is 65. He is 6 feet 8 inches. Robert Barone on Everybody Loves Raymond. Brad Garrett, 65 years old, the first grand prize winner on Star Search. I didn't know that. And on this day in history, we got a couple of quick updates here for you. On this day in history, 1828. Noah Webster, a Yale-educated lawyer with an avid interest in language and education, publishes his American Dictionary of the English Language. Was the first lexicon to include distinctly American words. Took him 20 years to finish. 10,000 Americanisms. It's standardized American dictionary, standardized spelling. A process started in 1473 when a printer named William Caxton published the first book printed in English. The rapid proliferation of printing and the development of dictionaries resulted in increasingly standardized spellings by the mid-1600s. Coincidentally, Samuel Johnson's Dictionary of the English Language was published 63 years earlier. In 1755. Anyway, there you go, English language. Let's see, at 4:55. Oh, a quick update. Flounder sent this about, I got to get back to my phone here, about J.D. Vance. And I'm looking at the video at the ceremony of Ohio State and the national title trophy, which is the football championship trophy. And J.D. Vance picks it up, and it comes apart. Luckily, the guy next to him grabbed the top half, the actual trophy part, and the bottom half fell to the ground that J.D. Vance picked up. Here's some of the reactions, though. Unfortunately, it's on social media. Unfortunately, it didn't shatter into thousands of pieces. Cheap trophy for an overhyped college. Wow. Damn. Find a better trophy maker next year. I don't think the top part's supposed to come off like that. Not the VP's fault. Let's see. They used to make better football trophies. Go Big Red. Note to self, trophy is 2 pieces. Most of us would have dropped it too. Somebody probably should have told him it comes in 2 parts. He's grabbing it wrong from the start. What do you mean dropped it? It literally fell apart. Just fell apart, looks like to me. Made in blank sticker took off and took for the trade policy debate. But anyway, it goes on and on and on. And then the second thing. J.D. Vance says, I didn't want anybody else to, after Ohio State, to get the trophy, so I broke it, because he's from Ohio. Anyway, so that was pretty cool. 456. A quick update here. Again, this is now an issue. Did anybody care about or even see, and I think it's a good thing, I guess, the celebrity rocket of all girls went into space for the Jeff Bezos thing. I mean, that's nice, but it's not like they are astronauts. They were launched into a space for 3 minutes and then brought back down again, but they did go through zero gravity and stuff like that. So they did a thing, a bucket list. Katy Perry was one of the girls up there, held up a daisy flower as she stepped out of the capsule. She was overwhelmed by the emotion. Also. Let's see. Jeff Bezos' fiance, Lauren Sanchez, was on the flight, and there's speculation that she has breast implants. Plastic surgeons say that there's a reason she may have received Botox and lip fillers and a facelift, and space travel and zero gravity and unknown factors can negatively impact cosmetic procedures, cause health risks for the astronauts. The doctor who did these things says going 6,000 miles an hour can cause stress and may cause something to shift and all kinds of stuff, so they're afraid about her health and safety. And coming up, we'll tell you about a little scandal involving Katy Perry and how not everybody was very happy, including a disabled American veteran. But first, we got another Flounder's Funny back there somewhere, Flounder, I think, here, 458. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder.
I found the scariest book I've ever seen for kids. It's a Disney book. It's a Winnie the Pooh cookbook. I brought it. I knew you wouldn't believe me unless I brought it. The actual title is Cooking with Pooh. What? What kind of sick world are we living in, ladies and gentlemen? I know the economy's bad. It ain't that bad, okay? And he's making chocolate chip cookies. I hope those morsels are Toll House.
Oh, mercy.
Mr. Tim Hawkins right there.
There you go. Well, coming up, Katy Perry is involved in a legal dispute with a disabled veteran about her mansion that she bought from the old guy. And that's coming up in the news here. 4:59. Oh, my goodness, 4:59 already. Also, we have a Pete Davis game, and a reminder that we're going to be doing our show this Wednesday, 2 days from now, at the Stovall Wholesale Landscaping Supply Company on Union Hill Road in Canton. Our show, Wednesday, Union Hill Road in Canton, Stovall Company Wholesaling Landscaping Supply Stuff. And it'll be 3 to 6, and you know the whole deal. Come out and say hi, but it'll be a lot of fun. And they're celebrating a new opening of the new store. Good longtime friends and sponsor of the program. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder coming up on 5 o'clock. Holy Grabbit Sports coming up, too. A lot of master stuff, including how I screwed myself out of being surprised. Tell me what else is new. Anyway, look out.
This is WFOM and W292EV Marietta on Dickey Broadcasting Station. Locally owned and heard throughout Georgia on the Extra app.
He won't be returned to the U.S. I'm Tom Graham, Fox News. President Trump hosting El Salvador's president at the White House today, thanking the Central American leader for his cooperation with the administration's deportation efforts.
What they've done to us at the border should never and can never be forgotten. It's a sin what they did, and you are helping us out, and we appreciate it.
El Salvador's leader added he would not return Kilmar Abrego Garcia. He was an immigrant living in Maryland who was mistakenly deported to Central America by the Trump administration. Fox's David Spunt.
The Attorney General, Secretary of State in front of President Trump made it clear he's not coming back, and they have President Nayib Bukele of El Salvador to back that up. Now, this began last week when the Supreme Court said the administration must, quote, facilitate the return of Abrego Garcia back from an Salvadorian prison here to the United United States. Here's the Attorney General.
If, as El Salvador wants to return him, this is international matters, foreign affairs. If they wanted to return him, we would facilitate it, meaning provide a plane.
Mr. Garcia was deported to El Salvador last month without citing specific evidence in court. Trump administration officials insist he is or was a member of the violent MS-13 gang.
Garcia's lawyer denies that gang accusation. The trade war escalates. China stopping exports of rare earth minerals required by automakers and defense contractors.
China's limits on exporting critical rare earth minerals is concerning, White House Economic Council Director Kevin Hassett says.
The rare earths are a part of lots of the economy. It's a little bit of the value add to the U.S. economy, but a crucial part of the value add.
Hassett says China's decision is being studied very carefully by the administration, and all options are on the table. China's government ordered restrictions on the export of 6 types of rare earth metals refined in China that are needed for vehicles.
Fox's Jared Halpern. America's listening to Fox News.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
Now let's get it together, ladies. Let's shoulder. Right a blank. Ready on your dog target. Road guards out. Stand by. It's only me. It's only the Kipper. It's going to be fine with Pete Davis and Flounder. It's a beautiful Monday. It's a freaking 80s. What is it? 83 degrees or something this afternoon. I don't think it's going to last for long, but still, it's kind of nice. Hope you had a chance to get outside or do something or take a walk later or whatever. In fact, I'm probably going to take a little walk when I get home. Well, no, I got to worry about stay anyway, whatever. Anyway, everything's fine. Kipper, Pete, and Flounder.
You ever take walks in your neighborhood?
I do. Actually, I do. And I like it because it's very hilly. There's you have to go too far before you go into lots of hills over the area. And so it's a good workout. But
Get some Kimmer cardio?
A little, well, these days, you know, I mean, and I think back, I used to run 12 miles a day. I would run for 2 hours, basically, a day. I mean, talk about, and man, I could do anything. I could eat anything. I could run up a flight of stairs. I mean, it really was amazing. I felt so energetic all the time. If I had to, you know, skip over a thing, bam, boom, nothing to it.
Funny thing is I've walked with both you and Pete to the Orange deck, to where just, you know, talking and going to our cars, leaving work. And both times you guys are like, nah, I'm taking the elevator. You enjoy the steps.
Oh, well, a lot of things are different now than they were when I was 34, okay? I mean, I used to run 26-mile marathons without stopping, too. So, you know, those days are long gone. I've got pictures of that, by the way. I actually did. I was on TV in Chicago on ABC when I ran the Chicago Marathon, and they mic'd me up, had a mic on me, and they had a minicam following me around, and they would go to me during the marathon on the news live, and I would be describing what I was doing. Anyway, sorry. Okay, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 404-741-1230. We got more Masters. Oh, I want a quick Masters thing, and a Jeff Bezos update, and a Katy Perry update, and all the newsy stuff update too. First of all, Okay, the Masters. I used to be a huge golf fan, a huge golfer, as you know, and now, of course, everything. I haven't played a round of golf in 8 or 9 years by an actual self golf thing. But I'm going to go out with Flounder and Mrs. Flounder and my buddy, golf buddy Danny McLefty, a PGA member, and we're going to go out here in the next couple of weeks and play a round of golf for the fun. So I am kind of practicing. So this weekend, it was a beautiful weather, and so this weekend I said, okay, I'm going to do this. The Masters is on, so I'm going to go hit balls to get ready for playing golf with Flounder and Mrs. Flounder and Danny. So I said, I'm going to go to the range. I'll bet you that won't be very crowded when the Masters is on TV, which is like from 2 to 7. So I said, I'll tell you what I'll do. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to the range, and then I'm going to go for a motorcycle ride later. And so I figured that would work out well. So I hit balls, went to the range, hit balls, everything was fine. And then I DVR'd the Masters golf tournament. Okay, so I hit balls, I come back, the Masters is on, I get on my new chopper that was just redone, thanks, my birthday surprise, yep, and for all you sweet anonymous people who did all that stuff to get my chopper back on the road again, which I thought was dead forever. And so I took a chopper ride, and then I come home, and it's like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, Masters still going on for a little while, so I rewound the Masters from the beginning, where I left it from the beginning, and started watching it. So now it's getting to be, I'm now watching, I'm about as I rewind it, I'm about the 16th hole, I think, something like that, with Rory and and they've kind of gone back and forth, and it's all, weird stuff going on. It was great for a while, and then it was boring and stuff like that. So I'm watching the Masters, and I said, I think I can't do one thing at a time, so I have to do more than one thing at a time. So I start looking for newsy stuff for Monday, for today's show, yesterday afternoon, late afternoon, and I started looking for newsy stuff, and I hit the Fox News app, and the lead story pops up. Rory McIlroy wins the Masters in a playoff. Oh, God. Oh, man. I planned the whole day for the watching the thing. And then the problem was at that point, and it was getting really excited again. And I said, oh, my God, if he makes this putt, they're going to be tied and going into the show. It could be a thing and a thing. And then I opened the app. Rory McIlroy went, oh, crap. Crap. And it's my own fault just because I can't just stop and watch TV. I mean, God.
Yeah. I do that with Twitter. I'll flick on Twitter, and as soon as I flick it on, it's like, no. But it's
stop.
there.
Don't do it. You idiot. Oh, God. Anyway, so that was pretty stupid. And again, in case you missed it, I didn't realize this because I hadn't really paid attention to stuff, but Rory McIlroy was married to this very nice lady, and they have a 4-year-old daughter, and then I guess it was last summer, I think, that they broke up. And Rory, the male golfer, filed for divorce, said it was irreconcilable, it was going to be broken up, and da-da-da-da-da. And then apparently he started having an affair with one of the girls who does the Golf Channel, the blonde girl who was, anyway, it's pretty well known. And so what happened yesterday at the golf tournament, there's one news story. In fact, New York Post went out of its way to say that Rory McIlroy's wife was very subdued when she hugged him, congratulations, when he won the tournament. And you could say, Pete mentioned earlier, she kind of covered their two heads with her hat, and she kind of patted him on the back. And the New York Post actually had a sign language or a body language guy saying, well, that was really, that was very subdued and was kind of like, fine, nice going, to pat her on the back kind of deal, as opposed to the wife running onto the green and throwing herself into the arms. You did it, my darling, together, we da-da-da-da-da. And that was gone because the woman who interviewed Rory McIlroy after he won was a woman he was having the affair with when he split from his wife.
Allegedly.
Yeah. And she couldn't have been too happy about that, and she couldn't have been too happy about, being the loving wife who runs into his arms and jumps into his, it's just, I felt bad when I read that. I said, oh, man, there's always something. Always something. But again, he did the right thing with his little girls, never give up your dreams, and so they all did the right thing, but it just kind of soured it. I thought it was kind of too bad.
As Rosanna Dana says,
there's always something. What's wrong with violins on television? Violins are perfectly sane or instrument to playing on television. No, ma'am. No, not violins. Violence. Oh. Anyway, Rosanna Dad. Again, my wife made her a cake for her freaking birthday when 1975 or whatever it was. Anyway, when I interviewed her and the whole crew. Okay, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 404-741-1230. So, and by the way, Flounder, I made a bad batch of cookies. I can't believe it. I just made a couple cookies this morning to have. I brought in for Flounder, me, and a couple of the girls.
They were delicious.
Well, I think I overcooked them a little. I don't know what happened.
I think you were thinking they were delicious.
Really? Okay, well, that's good to know. That's good to know. And now, 511. Holy cow. Very quickly, we're going to talk more about the El Salvador guy and the Katy Perry lawsuit. She's suing the guy who sold her mansion. And that's kind of ugly. We'll talk about that probably after Holy Crap at Sports coming up shortly. And again, I riddle me this, Batman. How did the Pennsylvania governor's mansion arsonist attacker get away with it? He got away with it. A 36-year-old guy from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, fills up some empty Heineken beer bottles with gasoline he took from a lawnmower, walked an hour to the governor's mansion on foot, walked to the governor's mansion, scaled a 7-foot fence, smashed 2 windows with a hammer, and threw burning Molotov firebomb cocktails inside the mansion, destroying all kinds of stuff inside the mansion, flaming flames and everything else, and then he walked away and disappeared. He was identified to police by an ex-lover. He called her and said, I want you to call the police. I want to turn myself in. And he turned himself in. That's how they caught him. He walked into the state police headquarters. So the guy the governor's mansion, over a 7-foot fence, broke 2 windows with a hammer, fired off Molotov cocktails, and calmly walked home, and then later turned himself in. Just like the guy in the woods trying to murder Donald Trump, assassinate Donald Trump on his golf course, he got away with it too. They saw the rifle, and so he fled and got away. Only a witness in the crowd said, oh, here's a license number. Otherwise, he would have got away with it. The guy on the building actually shot Donald Trump in the head. He got away with it. He got away with it. It would have been assassination. I mean, they finally got him, but still, he got away with it. It's unbelievable. The cops were searching for him when he was throwing the Molotov cocktails, and they saw a security camera. I just astounding.
Well, we call that a clue.
That was a clue. All right, 5:13, sports coming up here. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. How's your Monday? It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It's freaking 80 something. All right, here we go. Look out.
Morning Extra, Neil Bortz, and The Kimmer Show are all online for you anytime at thepodcastpark.com. Plus all of Extra's exclusive podcasts like Ben Burnett, Janelle King, and so much more. All at thepodcastpark.com. Presented by Associated Credit Union.
Central Heating and Air Conditioning wants you to know the start of the new season is the perfect time to ensure your home's comfort. Don't wait like most people do to have your HVAC system serviced. Your home should have maintenance twice a year. Maintenance helps keep your system running at peak efficiency and extends the life of your equipment. So turn to Atlanta's Carrier experts for your system's maintenance. With Central, you get Carrier products, Carrier warranty, and Carrier peace of mind. It's allergy season, and Central Heating and Air can fix what ails your house and possibly your family with home ventilation and air quality products. Central has packages designed around health using variable speed, fresh air ventilation, air cleaners, air purifiers, dehumidifiers, and more. Central Heating and Air is one of the few second-generation, locally owned and operated HVAC companies in Atlanta. With Central, you're not just a number, you're a member of the family. It's been that way since 1947, and they've serviced over 100,000 customers right here in Atlanta. Call 770-GET-HEAT or go to centralheat.com.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Atlanta, it's Mark from the Safe House. Now that President Trump has unburdened us from what could have been, our country's finally headed in the right directions. But the Democrats are screaming and yelling and losing their minds. And unfortunately, the bad guys are still here, and they want your stuff. Thank you, Joe Biden. And customers are still reporting break-ins and thefts of their hard-earned valuables. Don't wait till it's too late. Get a quality safe from the Safe House. We carry the largest selection of safes in the Southeast. And remember, gun safes are sales tax-free at Atlanta Safe House. So give us a call or go to atlantasafehouse.com.
A lot of us have a 401k, but many of us don't know what we should do with them as we get closer to retirement. I'm here with Evan Ward of Atlas Retirement. And Evan, what would you personally recommend?
Well, Kevin, what we recommend is when you separate service from your employer or when you turn 59 and a half, you need to look at what your options can be, because within a 401k, you're getting payroll deduction, you're getting a handful of different options, but it's very limited because a 401k is a one-size-fits-all for everybody in your company. Well, what we do when we have options to go outside the 401k, even while you're still employed, you can continue to contribute, but you can move those into different and better options than what you have within your 401k. And so we want to be able to run our 401k x-ray, be able to show you exactly what it is you are doing within your portfolio, and then see what your options are outside of that to improve your circumstance.
Because, Evan, let's be honest, retirement, this is not a one-size-fits-all answer, right? These are individual, personalized plans you're going to put together. Everybody's situation is going to be different, right?
Of course. And so, the 401k gives you a limited set of options because that is what has to be available to the client. But outside of your 401k, you have thousands of options that are often a lot more custom and tailor-made to your personal needs.
If you'd like more details, pick up the phone and call Evan Ward today and the team at Atlas Retirement. They are standing by to answer your questions. 678-736-7799. 678-736-7799. Pick up that complimentary 401k x-ray, or you can get more details online today. It's atlasretirement.net. That's atlasretirement.net. Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor.
If you're the decision maker at your company, we have great news for you, for your HR department, and for your employees. A new and future-forward way to do health benefits is here from Thatch. Not only do your employees get better health benefits with Thatch, but you save an average of $1,620 per employee per year. That's right. You can save over $1,600 per employee per year. Plus, Thatch reduces the time your HR department spends administering benefits. Businesses all over the country love Thatch's breakthrough approach. Rather than a wasteful one-size-fits-all plan, Thatch empowers your employees by letting them customize their own benefits plans. And you save money and time while providing your employees with better health benefits, which works better for everyone. Book a demo with Thatch and we'll send you a $100 gift card. Visit thatch.ai/radio to book a demo for your gift card. That's THATCH.ai/radio. Thatch.ai/radio.
Hey, it's a Kimmer. Yeah, we know life is unpredictable, but protecting your family's future doesn't have to be. How about the health insurance doctor's named Stephen? He can make life insurance simple and affordable plans designed to fit your budget and your needs. Term life, whole life, universal life, final expense coverage. The health insurance doctor customizing the perfect plan for you and your loved ones for the unexpected. Don't wait for it. Stephen, the health insurance doctor. Here's the number, 678-523-0759. Or visit him on the web, protecting what matters most. healthinsurancedoctor.net. All right, again, on this day in 1902, James Cash Penney opens his first store called the Golden Rule in Kemmerer, Wyoming. Became J.C. Penney. And now sponsored by RBM of Atlanta. Holy crap, it's sports with Pete Davis.
Well, after a decade of trying, Rory McIlroy finally has his green jacket in the career Grand Slam. The Northern Irishman outlasted an Englishman, Justin Rose, in a playoff that lasted one hole to become just the sixth man to win all four majors. He was one stroke better than Rose on a beautiful Sunday at Augusta National Golf Club. In fact, isn't this like the third playoff in a major that Rose has lost?
Yeah, unbelievable.
It really wasn't his fault. He hit a great shot.
No, he did.
Rory hit a shot for the ages in that first one.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. Rory, the first ever player in Masters history to start his round with 6 straight threes. He also the first winner to have 4 double bogeys.
That's right.
Yeah. And, of course, when McIlroy seemed about to blow 2 leads yesterday, Andy Agar tweeted the 28-3 Falcons-Patriots Super Bowl score. The Falcons. Forever an embarrassing mark on Atlanta sports history.
Oh, my.
It'll never end. It'll never end. I counted Rory out twice after he blew his 2-shot lead on the first hole, after he hit that shot sideways into Ray's Creek. He blew the 3-shot lead.
That was uncharacteristic of anybody. I mean,
I know.
A 12 handicap hits a shot like that.
I hit shots like that.
Wow.
That's just nerves. That he was not. In fact, it was like almost sideways.
Yeah,
from what he was
he almost
looking
shanked
at.
it. He almost,
But he came back for him. You got to give him that. He came back because that was something that, when that happened Sunday, what was it, 11 years ago, 14 years ago?
Yeah.
He collapsed.
But he did collapse. Oh, boy. I remember that.
And DeChambeau, he really needs to work on his. He just, everything went south on that stuff quickly on that. But it was a great tournament. It really went, like you said, from exciting to boring to exciting at the end. It was well worth it.
Too bad I missed it.
Too bad you blew that. One of the greatest, probably the greatest Masters you'll ever see.
Put your phone down, you idiot. Stop doing
But you got to play with that phone, aren't you, Mr.
Look up the news.
Teenager?
Oh, an idiot.
The Braves try to right the ship in Toronto starting tonight. The 0-1 Grant Holmes. Hey, Holmes for Atlanta against the 2-0 Easton Lucas for the BJs. Marcell Ozuna getting the night off. Braves fell in Tampa yesterday 8-3. Chris Sale's velocity was back, but he took the loss. The Athletics' David O'Brien tweets that Sale only went 4 1/3 innings, hasn't gone more than 5 innings in any of his starts. In his Cy Young season last year, Chris only had 2 starts less than 5 innings.
So that's not a good sign. So
Bravo's just 4-11, 1-9 on the road after dropping 2 of 3 to the Rays. But Spencer Strider to start Wednesday. Here I come to save the day.
Cool.
It's an afternoon game against the Blue Jays up there, so we'll see what happens.
Excellent.
But, it's really not the pitching.
Well,
it was yesterday, but most of the part, they're not hitting with men in scoring position. It's just horrific to watch them do it.
Got to get to second
Aaron
base.
Bummer back from bereavement leave. Michael Peterson sent down to Gwinnett. And how much they miss Ronald Acuna Jr.? They have a winning percentage of over .660 with him. Without him in the lineup, their winning percentage dips under .470.
Oh, my.
That's how much he means to them.
Well,
Joe Quintana, the Brewers, now the 24th pitcher in Major League history to beat all 30 teams. The only active men to do this are Max Scherzer, Garrett Cole, and a former Brave. Who is he?
Tom Glavine? Greg Maddux.
Active.
Oh, I'm sorry. Active. Oh, well, then oh, my. Who's been there the longest?
Last year.
Not
last year. He was here last year.
The guy just went to the Yankees. Our 42-year-old guy. No?
Not Max Fried.
Max Fried? Oh, well, crap. Then
By the way, he's the only pitcher of the Yankees pitching well. The only starter.
Yeah, is that amazing?
ERA under 2.
Yeah, good for him.
Charlie Morton.
Oh, of course. I'm sorry.
Remember Charlie?
Old-timer. Sure.
The Cubs approached Pete Crow Armstrong about an extension worth $75 million American dollars.
Ooh.
He said no. But as Steven tweets, if your WRC Plus rating is below 80 and someone offers you $75 million, you sign that biatch with both hands.
Wow.
But you should have. Sad news here. Former Reds and Astros second baseman Tommy Helms has passed away. Hall of Famer Johnny Bench says he mentored him as a rookie. Helms, the 1966 National League Rookie of the Year, was part of the blockbuster trade with the Astros that sent Hall of Famer Joe Morgan up to Cincy. So Tommy Helms was a very good second baseman.
I remember him, yeah.
I think he was in his 80s. I forgot to write down exactly how old he was. The Volunteers cut ties with their former starting quarterback, Nico. I'm going to leave now after his holdout from spring practice trying to extort more money. Word is that Oregon head coach Dan Lanning called Tennessee's Josh Heupel with a heads up that Nico was shopping himself around. Hurricanes head coach Mario Cristobal says he won't put up with that shenanigan at Miami, saying if they want to play holdout, they might as well play get out.
Yeah, right. Good for them. And they should all stick together, by the way, whether they call it collusion or not. I think, in fact, I endorse that coach calling this other guy, say, by the way, the guy's shopping himself around, see who's going to get a better deal. I don't think that's a violation of anything other than, trying to keep the things above board and honest about what something that actually happened. It's a true thing, so what the hell? They're asking for it.
I heard one person say, I forget who it was, that he's kind of not that great of a quarterback, so his family's probably thinking he's not going to be that good of a pro, so we're going to make money now.
Yeah, well,
we'll see. Mr. Tulit tweets, Nico is the face of the issue for the whole sport of college football. 19-year-old kids who become multimillionaires and still feel slighted. Meanwhile, the same fans who have passed down season tickets for a generation can no longer afford the games because of it. We have all lost.
That's a great point. How could you feel entitled as a 19-year-old to turn down millions of dollars because you think you deserve more? For what?
Because you've been told since you were 5 years old that the sun shines out of your arse?
Yeah, and the girls all go for you in the cheerleading squad or whatever.
You don't blame them for that.
Yeah.
6 of the top 7 quarterbacks in the 2023 recruiting class have now transferred. Only Arch Manning of Texas has stayed with his original team. 6 of the 7.
Oh, my.
Brother Bill Oliver has died. Remember Brother Bill Oliver?
Oh, the funny haircut or something about his...
No, you don't. No, you don't know. The former Alabama and Auburn assistant coach passed away at 85. Oliver will be most remembered. The architect of the Crimson Tide's 92 defense shut down high-powered Miami in that stunning national title game. Oliver signed on as a quarterback in Bear Bryant's first class back in 1958, helped them win the national title in 61. Brother Bill Oliver, dead at 85. He was a really good DC.
I bet.
Former LSU receiver Kyron Lacey died of an apparent suicide in his car after being pursued by police in Harris County, Texas. The cops have been called by a family member after Lacey allegedly fired a gun into the ground during a dispute. He then took off in his vehicle. After the car crashed, Lacey was found in it with a gunshot wound. The 24-year-old pronounced dead at the scene. Lacey was facing criminal charges after a fatal car accident last December in Louisiana, which killed a 78-year-old man. Lacey declared for the NFL draft 2 days after that crash and was once ranked as high as number 6 as a receiver on Mel Kiper Jr.'s draft board. Everything came crashing down.
Horrible. Yeah.
The Suns have fired former Hawks head coach Mike Budenholzer after an 11th place finish and 1 year. Coach Bud gone. 1 year.
Wow.
Yeah. ESPN is going to start showing Savannah Bananas games.
They should.
They should.
They should. You'll make $1 million.
Park, man.
I would advertise on that. If I were an advertiser in sports, I would definitely advertise on those guys. No
Have
question.
you watched them yet?
When they show highlights, I don't know where to find them. But if they've ever shown the highlights, I definitely watch them. I think they're hysterical.
Yeah, they had a guy pitching on stilts the other day. On stilts.
Well, there you go.
Remember Elisa Heinerscheid?
The name's familiar, and I don't know why. I don't know.
She is the woman who single-handedly cost Anheuser-Busch $1.4 billion and stopped Bud Light from being America's #1 beer after her brilliant idea to insult all Bud Light drinkers and try to make a tranny freak into the new face of the iconic brew.
The marketing girl.
Well, Alyssa has landed on her feet, and yet another reason not to watch or care about the Live Tour. She's now working for them, talking about failing up. She costs, well, she's got experience. Yeah, blowing $1 billion.
Yeah. Oh, man.
At what point do they tell you just to go work at the convenience
They
store?
finally said, well, let's bring back the Clydesdales at least, for one of the commercials or something. Good Lord, what a falling company.
On this day, sports history, April 14, 2017, the Braves opened their new ballpark with a 5-2 win over the Padres, a sellout crowd. And for what Jay has in the box, which Brave recorded the first hit, scored the first run, and hit the first homer? It's all one guy. I'll give you a hint. Outfielder.
Chipper Joe. Not Chipper Joe. Oh,
center fielder.
Center fielder would be, wait a minute, 2014? Oh, man, I don't know. I don't know.
2017.
2017.
You're
well,
not.
8 years.
You're gonna kick yourself because you've probably forgotten about this guy, Ender Inciarte.
Oh my God, I did forget about him. I did forget about him. For some reason, whenever I hear that now, I used to think he was a second baseman. There must have been a second baseman somewhere in the past.
He was small.
Yeah.
He was small and wiry, and he looked like a second baseman.
I'll be darned.
Yeah.
First home run and first hit, and cool.
And run. Yeah. 1982 at Watt Powell Park, the home of the International League Charleston Charlies, Toledo Mud Hens pinch hitter Randy Bush hit an 8th-inning home run in the win over Charleston. The ball traveled 200 miles.
Well, I think go ahead, finish the story.
Over the right field wall into a moving coal train. Same thing happened at Old Ponce de Leon Park in Atlanta. You can still see the train trestle over Ponce at the old Sears building behind the Home Depot Shopping Center. Same thing happened. I forget the guy. Bob Montag, I think maybe his name, or somebody like that.
I remember it happened. I don't remember anything about it. Pretty cool.
Ended up in West Virginia or something like that. 1983, the Metrodome's roof deflates due to what?
Wasn't it a rainstorm?
Snow.
Snow, that's right. Oh, heavy snow, wet snow, man. That'll do it.
And birthdays, 1923. This poor guy, I read the book about this. Roberto De Vincenzo, Argentine golfer, when the British Open 67, runner-up to the Masters in 68, should have won it.
Yeah.
He was born on this day, died in 2017, and he signed the wrong scorecard.
He's put down the wrong score. You keep track of you get your partner's scorecard, and you keep his score, he keeps yours, and then you check it at the end and then sign it. Once you sign the scorecard, that's your score. Unfortunately, he signed a scorecard that had a couple of numbers higher than he actually shot, and so even though he did not shoot the higher score, he signed for it, and they had to put it in the record, so he was not given the trophy. He won, but because he put down the wrong number on the card and signed it, he did not win.
All right. Did he get screwed?
Yeah. But he didn't follow the rules. I mean, he didn't do the thing.
But you know what? He won. He literally won.
He won it. Yeah, he should have won. They should have said no. That in fact, especially the Masters, they can do whatever the hell they want. It's an invitational. They can do anything they want. They should have corrected that. And I think they tried. Didn't they try to make up for it later or somehow? I don't know. Maybe
it's like Jim Thorpe. They're taking the Olympic medals away from him, and then later gave it back after he was dead.
Yeah, that's stupid. Yeah.
By the way, birthdays for Braves today: David Justice, Greg Maddux, Steve Avery, and Kyle Farnsworth. He went to Milton High School. All Braves, all birthdays.
Greg Maddux is 59. I don't know how old the others are. I didn't have the rest of them.
Justice is 59. Maddox, 59. Avery, born in 1970, so he's, 55 now?
Wow. Yeah. I remember him, that big left man, that big blonde left-hander. He was great. That staff they had for those few years, oh, man.
And he was supposed to be the best.
Yeah.
Avery, and he hurt his side, hurt his oblique, or whatever went on with there.
Yeah, I remember. Cool.
That's
Pete Davis, 531. So much more coming up. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. And Bill Maher is back in the news. Kristen Whitmer, Gretchen Whitmer is apologizing for being seen with the president. We got it all coming up here. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. More Flounder's funnies. And we have a game. Let's do a game when we come back. I think we all said. Here we go. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Look out.
Morning Extra from 6 to 10. Glenn back until noon. Clay and Buck from noon to 3. And the Kimmer Show on your ride home from 3 to 6. Plus Jesse Kelly from 6 to 9. And Jimmy Vela from 9 to midnight. The voices you need all day with the conservative voice of Atlanta. Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
What a time of year to get that planning done. Landscapers, Stovall & Company, the family-owned, locally-owned, family-owned business for 75 years. Stovall Company has all your stuff, your wholesale landscaping supplies. If you're putting in a patio or a yard, you need turf or plants or bushes or trees. They're huge on boulders and rocks and concrete and stones and patio. How about irrigation systems? They got your water sprinklers, all that stuff. They're so successful as a family business because they go the extra step. You need something, a special request, you need it right now. Look out the window. It's on the way. Tell them the Kimmer sent you. Their new location in Canton. We'll be seeing you up there on the web, StovallInc.com.
Hey, this is Tom from The Honest Car Guy. We help you buy your next pre-owned car or truck honestly. We guarantee each vehicle we sell will come with a copy of the bill of sale, showing what we paid for it. You pay what we pay, plus a disclosed fee. Guaranteed. Honesty is the best policy, and we guarantee it. Finally, a pre-owned car and truck buying process that you can trust.
Get an honest car buy from The Honest Car Guy. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME-1, or visit honestcarguy.com.
Have you thought about securing your hard-earned assets? Do you have concerns about the future? Protecting assets is crucial, and that's where Nelson Elder Care Law excels. As a family-owned and family-focused firm, we provide absolute assurance and peace of mind through our trademarked Absolute Protection Trust, tailored services in estate planning, probate administration, Medicaid crisis solutions, guardianship, and conservatorship. Our goal is to exceed your expectations and empower informed decisions. Visit NelsonElderCareLaw.com for asset protection and peace of mind.
Hey, it's Front Office Lowe's for True Prep. Life changed for me in October of 2018. I saw firsthand the devastation that Hurricane Michael caused on the Gulf Coast and into Georgia. That storm was the reason I decided that I needed to prepare for any situation that might affect my family. And that's why True Prep can be so valuable for you. From freeze-dried, dehydrated, and canned foods to water purification systems. Visit True Prep at 1000 Cobb Parkway in Marietta or truprep.com. That's truprep.com. Prepare today for a worry-free tomorrow with True Prep.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us, too, in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
You know the old expression, I love it when a plan comes together? Well, with our First Liberty Notes, this has been so true. Hello, I'm Brant Frost, founder of First Liberty Building and Loan. You hear about our family's company all the time right here on the station. For over 30 years, we've been the local lender who said yes when the big banks say no. A couple of months ago, we opened up our First Liberty Notes program to Main Street investors just like you, and the response has been just incredible. Folks from airline pilots to physicians to even pastors are now earning 8 to 13% interest rates while helping to fuel the growth of local small businesses. If you're a qualified investor with a minimum of $25,000, you too could be earning 8 to 13% interest. We'd love to have you join our First Liberty family today. Go to firstlibertyga.com and see if our First Liberty Notes are right for you. Go to firstlibertyga.com. That's firstlibertyga.com.
First Liberty Notes are not obligations of or guaranteed by any financial institution and are not secured by any collateral. They are not FDIC insured or guaranteed by any government agency. You could lose money. SEC accredited investor status must be verified. Securities not offered in any jurisdiction in which it is unlawful.
When you hear the term living better, what do you think about? More money? A bigger house? Maybe a yacht? What about how you feel physically? How you wake up each day? How you sleep? What activities you can and cannot do? When you feel good, life is good. So if pain is affecting your life, see how Relief Factor can help. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Developed by doctors, it doesn't just mask pain temporarily. It helps reduce or even eliminate pain. In fact, the longer you take it, the more effective it is. So give their 3-week quick start a try. It's only $19.95, less than $1 a day. And it just takes a phone call, 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Wherever you're hurting, in 3 weeks or even days, Relief Factor can give you a chance to rediscover the true meaning of living better again. Visit relieffactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF.
Finally, a president that will fight for American values.
The American dream is surging bigger and better than ever before.
And finally, an Atlanta news station that covers it the right way. Extra 106.3 isn't about traffic and weather. We care about the stories that matter most to you, your family, and your community. Get traffic and weather on your phone and get Atlanta's only conservative conversation right here on Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
Have you seen my wife, Mr. Jones?
Here we go.
Do you know what it's like on the outside? Don't go talking too loud, you'll cause a laugh.
It's the Bee Gees. 1967, Polydor Records released the Bee Gees' New York mining disaster, 1941.
To hear a sound.
It was released with a promotional slogan.
Someone is digging underground.
The slogan announced the most significant talent since the Beatles. New York mining disaster, 1941. The record became a top 20 hit in Britain and America.
Have you seen my wife?
The Bee Gees. Man, they were a thing.
Not a good song, right?
No, it's silly. Let's see. Our birthday list includes the magnificent Julie Christie. Julie Christie from Dr. Zhivago, Fahrenheit 451, Heaven Can Wait, Shampoo. Julie Christie won an Oscar, Best Actress, for the movie Darling in 1965. I've never even heard of that. I had no idea. Julie Christie is 85 years old. And when in Dr. Zhivago, when they had her in that little choker necklace and her was a red gown or something with a guy seducing her or taking her to the, oh, lordy. Anyway, Julie Christie, 85 years old today. And a couple of sports things here, Pete Davis. I think you might, I know you know these, and just a couple of quick things. On this day, speaking of the Masters, on this day, 1996, Greg Norman had a 6-shot lead in the final round of the Masters, and it's one of the worst collapses in sports history. He shot 78 in the final round, 5 double bogeys and 4 bogeys, and Nick Faldo won it by a stroke. But people forget, Nick Faldo shot a 67 on Masters Sunday, which is unheard of. That was a spectacular score for a Sunday at the Masters. So Faldo deserved, to have a great result. But obviously, Greg Norman, just collapsed. Faldo went up afterward and said, I don't know what to say to you. I just want to give you a hug. Two quick headlines to show you how bad it was. For me, Greg Norman's lifetime. For yours, for mine, for eternity. Wherever golf is played and remembered in pro shops, pawn shops, locker rooms, card rooms, bars, churches, in Augusta, Ankara, and Alaska, the 1996 Masters will be recalled simply as the one Greg Norman blew, wrote the Tampa Tribune columnist. And one more, Arizona Republic. It was like watching a man drown as Norman headed to Amen Corner, the most famous stretch of holes in golf. You wanted to throw him a rope, a lifeline. Here, Greg, grab hold. Well, Greg Norman never won a major tournament in the United States. He won others, but not that one. In fact, hold on. I got one more little thing here. Let's see. Aaron Hernandez, serving a life sentence for the 2013 murder on this day in 2017, was acquitted in another double murder in Boston from 2012. The prosecutor said it was fueled by his anger over a drink somebody spilled on him at a nightclub. That was in 2017 when he was acquitted of that. 5 days later, Aaron Hernandez hanged himself in his prison cell. Anyway, 541, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. And let's see, Bill Maher. Let's do Bill Maher here, Flounder. Bill Maher is still getting ripped for having dinner with Donald Trump and talking about him as an actual human being. The liberals are coming after him saying, oh, you fell in for a publicity stunt, man. And Maher said, wait a minute, it wasn't a publicity stunt. It was a president of the United States had me over for dinner. Anyway, here's Bill Maher's reaction to it.
At one point, we were walking through his it is an amazing tour of the whole house. And I don't remember exactly what we were talking about, but it must have been something with the 2020 election, because I know he used the word lost. And I distinctly remember saying, wow, I never thought I'd hear you say that. He didn't get mad. He's much more self-aware than he lets on in public. Look, I get it. It doesn't matter who he is at a private dinner with a comedian. It matters who he is on the world stage. I'm just taking as a positive that this person exists, because everything I've ever not liked about him was, I swear to God, absent, at least on this night with this guy. Bob, Kid Rock, told me the night before, he said, if you want to get a word in edgewise, you're going to have to cut him off. He'll just go on. Not at all. And he mostly steered the conversation to, what do you think about this? I know. Your mind is blown. So's mine.
You can hate me for it, but I'm not a liar. Trump was gracious and measured, and why isn't that in other settings? I don't know. I can't answer. It's not my place. I'm just telling you what I saw, and I wasn't high either, and they laughed about that. Maher treated the White House visit like some kind of summit, the mocking people said, brokered by their friend Kid Rod's ridiculous. He said, I don't have any power. I'm a freaking comedian. He's the most powerful guy in the world. I'm not leader of anything. Don't be ridiculous. Millions of liberal sphincters were just tightened. Oh, my God, Bill, you going to say something nice about him? Oh, my God. He said, yeah, I didn't go to MAGA. To the president's credit, there was no pressure to at all. And by the way, he said, I've had conversation with prominent people, much less connected. People don't look you in the eye. People don't really listen because they just want to get to their next thing. None of that was him. He mostly steered the conversation to, what do you think about this? I know, Bill Maher said, your mind is blown, so is mine. I never felt I had to walk on eggshells around him. I voted for Clinton and Obama, but I would never feel comfortable talking to them the way I was able to talk with Donald Trump. That's just how it went down. I mean, you know, again, and Donald Trump, they had the soundbite I heard earlier, and he was on Air Force One, 2 o'clock in the morning. He's already been up, for 22 hours or something, and he's with his granddaughter, Kai, who, by the way, this is some really cool little young lady. I'm really very impressed with this young lady. It's amazing. She's going to be a golfer and freshman in college next year, apparently, and she travels with him all the time, and she's a typical granddaughter, and he's a typical grandfather. He's just sweet, nice grandfather. And he said they came into on Air Force One in the air 2 o'clock in the morning, and he's got Kai with him, his granddaughter. He says, "Oh, hey, sweetie, you see all the people I call the fake media? Here they are. You just met them. It's just he's just a guy having fun with his granddaughter on a trip. Another bucket list for somebody who's it's just amazing to me, the story of what Donald Trump has become and what he's like, and what it's too bad the media doesn't really get on board this. This would be the most amazing story in the history of the world if the mainstream media and social media would say, you know what, we were wrong about Donald Trump. Not only is he hardly Adolf Hitler or a Nazi, He's one of the sweetest guys you've ever known. He shoots from the hip, but he's in it for America. There's nothing he does that would affect America negatively in any way when he's trying to do what's best for the country. Yeah, I don't see any selfishness about what's in it for him, other than wanting to be the best president we've ever had, which is fine by me. That's a great goal, to be the best president we've ever had. I'm so impressed with what he's done, what he's pulled off, and it's too bad he's never going to get credit for it. They're still trying. Cory Booker just came out. Spartacus just came out and said, "Well, we have enough evidence to indict Donald Trump for trying to put input into the stock market, insider trading."
I was just about to say, you hearing anything about the stock market right now?
Yeah,
because it's up 300.
There you go.
It's funny how that disappeared.
Yeah, what happened to the Trump slump? Yeah, I mean, my God. Again, if they would get on board, America would be celebrating the greatest example of a turnaround on behalf of America this country has ever known. I mean, and it's happening. Oh, man. Quarter 6 already. Kimmer, Pete, Flounder, how you doing? Here we go. Look out.
Get connected to Extra 106.3 on all your favorite apps. Then download ours and stream the station across Georgia. We're live online at extra1063.com. Stream live video from the studios on YouTube. And of course, Kimmer, Bortz, and your favorite Extra shows in crystal clear digital on the Extra 106.3 app.
Its intelligent technology is intuitive. Its responsive performance, responsible. Turbo power with a hybrid assist, a digital yet sensual cockpit, and sporty elegance helps make the C-Class a driver's delight and paradise for passengers. Get an exceptional offer on the 2025 Mercedes-Benz C300 sedan for just $469 per month for 39 months with $46.63 due at signing, exclusively from RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this vehicle and many other models during the RBM of Atlanta's spring sales event. Visit today to see how to qualify. We'd love to welcome you to the RBM of Atlanta family. Special lease rate available only to qualified customers exclusively from Mercedes-Benz Financial Service through RBM of Atlanta, Sandy Springs through April 30th, 2025. Excludes tax, tag, title, and Georgia Lemon Law fees. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this and other exciting offers. Visit us at rbmofatlanta.com or call us at 770-390-0700 for details.
It's front office lows for Howard Brothers and Cub Cadet. April in Georgia means the grass is growing fast, and it's mowing time with Cub Cadet. From zero turn to lawn tractors, Cub Cadet mowers are built for power, precision, and comfort, so you can tackle your yard with ease. It's the top pick for homeowners when they want the perfect cut every time. Let's not fall behind this season. Visit your local Howard Brothers today and get your Cub Cadet mower ready for the season. The grass is always greener when you take care of it with Cub Cadet and Howard Brothers.
My name is Patrick, and I'm the Military Outreach Manager at the Warrior Alliance. I served in the U.S. Army as an airborne ranger and deployed to several combat zones in support of the global war on terror. Veterans bring excellence through our work ethic, skills, and civic duty. However, transitioning to civilian life can be difficult, as we all share a loss of purpose when leaving the military. Returning veterans have earned and deserve our support so they can thrive on their journey home. The Warrior Alliance understands the challenge and is helping warriors navigate to success after service. Join us in changing thousands of lives for the better. Donate today at thewarrioralliance.org.
Tax refund season is here. Why not invest in your home? For over 25 years, homeowners have trusted Southern Exteriors with over 200,000 projects completed across 6 states. From windows and doors to roofing, siding, and gutters, we get the job done right the first time. Maximize your refund with 0% financing for 12 months or 10% off any project. Boost your curb appeal or tackle those much-needed repairs today. Get your free estimate now at southernexteriors.co.
Neil Borch here. Maybe you've already taken the steps to improve your health, maybe save your life. You're using a CPAP for your sleep apnea. I've been using one for well over 20 years. So right now I'm here to tell you about a source for CPAPs and CPAP supplies here in the Atlanta area. CPAPs, etc. They're in Alpharetta. They have whatever you need. Roddy and Sharon are your CPAP experts, and they'll ship nationwide. More information, CPAPs, etc. ATC.com.
Hey, this is Matt from East Cobb. We basically bought our house from our in-laws. It was my wife's childhood home. One of the issues that we've had when we first moved in was our dog in our backyard. It was extremely shaded, could never grow grass back there. We resodded it twice. So ATL Turf Co. did an amazing job with our backyard transformation. They basically created a miniature golf hole. We have a miniature fairway. We also have a miniature little putting green. Consists of about 4 holes, total about 40 yards, so you can definitely work on your short game and your putting. After that transformation that ATL Turf Co. did for us, my father-in-law came and saw his house the way it looked after the fact of we had a putting green and a miniature golf course. Sure enough, he did the same thing with ATL Turf Co. He has a beautiful backyard, wonderful stonework, drainage, and a beautiful practice area for chipping and putting. Check him out online at atlturfco.com.
It's the NRA Annual Meetings and Exhibits at the World Congress Center, April 25th to 27th. 14 acres of guns and gear. A freedom-filled weekend with activities for the entire family. Tickets just $10. NRA members get in free. Visit nratickets.com.
We forgot to do our game. Oh, well. That happens a lot around here. 551. How you doing? Look out. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. There we go.
Down the high street when I heard footsteps behind me, and there was a little old man in scarlet and grey chuckling away. He trotted
the laughing gnome here.
And he sat beside the telly with his tiny hands on his tummy, chuckling away.
Why are you torturing us?
I don't know. David Bowie, 1967. The novelty record Laughing Gnome, released in Britain. A singer meeting and conversing. The creature, the sped-up voice, with a studio engineer speeding up the voice. Several puns on the word gnome. The song became a hit, released in 1973. Even though this is hardly David Bowie by a long shot. Anyway, good grief. Let's see. One more sports thing. You'll like this, Pete, and I know you're going to have a reaction concerning the first pitch of Major League Baseball. It was on this day in 1910. President William Howard Taft became the first president to throw the ceremonial first pitch at a Major League Baseball game. The toss on the opening day, Senators owner Clark Griffith had wanted a president to throw out the first pitch for years. And President William Howard Taft, he wrote, he found a genuine sports fan and willing, if unaware, participant in an ingenious public relations move. By convincing Taft to throw out the ceremonial first pitch of the season, the Senators owner hoped to permanently fix the presidential seal of approval on baseball as the national pastime officially. Other people in the party, including Vice President Sherman, stayed for the entire game, even after a line drive by Philadelphia's Frank Home Run Baker bounced off Secretary of the Senate Charles Bennett's head. Johnson, by the way, was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame, took a no-hitter to the 7th inning, gave up a double to Baker. Philadelphia's only hit in the Senators' 3-0 win. Taft enjoyed the game. He said he was interested in all the rest of it. He knows baseball thoroughly on the finer points of the game. He didn't come back in 1912 because of the sinking of the Titanic, but in 1913, Woodrow Wilson was president, and he continued the tradition of the first pitch. And you say about the first pitch of baseball in the first game of the opening season of baseball, what, Pete Davis?
Should be in Cincinnati.
There you are. And instead of Japan or London or anywhere, right. I mean, it's just silly.
Play games in June and July over there, but don't start the season overseas. Damn it.
Yeah.
Start it in Cincinnati.
5:53. I neglected to tell you the rest of the Katy Perry story and the Jeff Bezos thing. By the way, Jeff Bezos, there's video of him doing a face plant. He ran around to try to get to the capsule when it came back to Earth, and right literally on his face, which is no big deal, but it's a thing. Anyway, it was all girl. The girl flight, all the celebrities, Gayle King, a civil rights activist, a filmmaker, a scientist girl, and his fiance, Lauren Sanchez, and Katy Perry. And Katy Perry made a big deal about it, although although some of the folks kind of criticized her for it, like Olivia Munn and some other people saying, what are they doing? What is this all about? They get to go up in space for 3 minutes and then think they're special or something. And as it turns out, Katy Perry bought a millionaire's, the guy who founded 100 Flowers, or whatever that, 1-800 Flowers, whatever that florist company is a billionaire. He's a disabled veteran, 80-year-old something, and he sold her his mansion, but then he tried to cancel the sale because he was high on drugs. He was taking all kinds of medicine, and said, I really didn't mean to sell it. They had me do it, and so I wanted to cancel it. So he tried to stop the sale, and then Katy Perry sued him. Katy Perry sued a disabled veteran who was out of his mind when he did the thing, and so because she couldn't sell the house and anyway, it's a long story. So now she's involved in that kind of thing. So whatever.
By the way, when they showed all the 6 women going up in the rocket ship, they said they gave them 12 minutes before they hit the tail things on the curb.
The feelers, the curb feelers, those spokes stick out. I should use those. I need those to get into this parking lot. You can't make a sharp turn into this parking lot, and my car has a very limited turning radius. I guarantee you, my car has about 2/3 maybe of what your car can do to turn in a circle.
We have breaking news. Marcelo Zuna will not be available for the entire series in Toronto.
Whoa.
Don't know why yet. So.
Oh, at first it was a night off, and now it's not there. Well, I hope he's okay. Let's see, a couple of quick updates here. Donald Trump was at the Oval Office today talking to the El Salvador president, and he repeatedly needled CNN and its primetime anchor, Caitlin Collins, the disgrace of all media, talking in the Oval Office about the El Salvadorian guy, welcomed the president. And as Caitlin Collins tried to get in a remark, Trump said, I want to hear a question from very low-rated anchor. She ignored the slam, asked Trump if he would ask the guy to assist in bringing back the man who was mistakenly deported. Pam Bondi answered it, saying the guy was illegally in the country, was ruled in immigration court to be a member of a terrorist group, MS-13. It's up to El Salvador to return him. And Trump interjected, saying, CNN asked with a slant because they're totally slanted. They don't know of what's happening. That's why nobody's watching them, said Donald Trump. Stephen Miller said to Collins, hey, it's very arrogant even for American media to suggest that we would tell El Salvador how to handle their own citizens. And because Trump declared MS-13 a foreign terrorist outfit, this guy Garcia is ineligible for immigration relief anyway. I mean, this is incredible. And these Caitlin Collins and all these people, they just, you just want to strangle them. I mean, the nerve of them, they just can't stop.
But outside of the upper, east and west side, the Hamptons and San Francisco, who's paying attention to them?
I know. Hopefully nobody. But again, they're still there, and they're showing up at the White House, and so, I mean, they're still legit. Anyway. Oh, and one more thing, just a quick update on Gretchen Whitmer. I keep getting her name wrong. I don't know why I do that. Gretchen Whitmer. That my laptop is now screwing me around. Hold on. Really quickly, I got to hear in a second. Gretchen Whitmer explains why she tried to hide her face when they had her at the White House. Because, I can't find the story, but now, just out of my memory, she said she didn't know it was going to be a public meeting with all the other people. She thought it was going to be private with Donald Trump, and when everybody else showed up, she didn't know what to do, and then she just admitted she had a bad moment. She said, we all have our moments, and she felt like an idiot. She didn't want to have her picture taken, so she literally held up a couple of blue folder binders in front of her face, and she'd been mocked ever since that happened, and for good reason, by the way. And again, that probably ruined her chances of ever being a liberal Democrat female elected president. They're going to remember stuff like this. I'm telling you, they're eating their own, and I love to see it. Anyway, all right. Hold on. Kipper, Pete, and Flounder. My goodness, it's 5:58 already. We have another Flounder's Funny, and we never got our game, so we'll do our game tomorrow. I promise. Here we go.
And this is what I don't like about people that like natural medicine is they always act like it's very simple, like it's very easy. They always sell it like that. They're like, it's no problem. You just want to take niacin, biotin, thiamine, B1, B2, B3, take all the B's, C's, D's, and E's, fish oil, purple reishi, 5-HTP, St. John's wort. Wake up, drink a glass of water thoughtfully for 1/2 hour. Boil a bowl of almond milk, put that on a windowsill. That's not for you. Climb a tree, thank a bird, get back down safely. Write a gratitude list, set that on fire, blow the ashes towards your ancestors, buy buy these 5 crystals, they're each $1,000.
And who's
Mr.
that
Andy
there,
Hayes
Flo?
right there.
Andy Hayes, I love it. By the way, don't forget on Wednesday this week, day after tomorrow, we'll be doing our show live at the Stovall and Company brand new opening of the store number 11 on Union Road in Canton. 9500 Union Road in Canton, Wednesday, doing our show there. And contractors get a free lunch starting at 11:30. They're celebrating the Stovall. It's a family. Paul and the sons running the place for 75 years now. And so they have their 11th store opening. We'll be doing our show there, Union Hill Road in Canton, Wednesday afternoon. If you're a contractor, you get a free lunch starting at 11:30. And then
Are we
stick around.
contractors?
We could be contractors, sure.
Shovel?
Yeah, contract this, Christine. Sing me home, baby. I gotta go. You're killing me. Pete Davis and Flounder, boys. We'll see you tomorrow. Hoorah, herp, semper fi, herp, herp.
The Morning Extra, every week.